Hello, are we live? Hopefully we are live, and that means we should be good, should be ready, and should be set to begin one and all, folks, for another exciting edition of the PokePod World Podcast. Once again, one and all, my name is KG Prestige. I hope everybody can hear me loudly and clearly as we begin tonight's session of random shenanigans to unfold and see what we're going to witness ourselves for tonight. Hopefully, everyone's been having a good old day so far. Everyone's been having a good evening, good afternoon, or about getting ready to start the new day. Not necessarily sure where you guys live, but the point of the matter is, I hope you guys have had a good one so far. So, we got quite a lot to discuss, to cover for tonight, to think and whatnot. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see you guys throughout the night. I'm going to also tweet out the fact that we're live because I also didn't tweet out that we're live for another exciting edition of the PokePod World Podcast. So let's go and let the people know we are live for another session. Hold on. For a new session of the PokePod World Podcast. There we go. Come join us. Lovelies. There we go. BDSP has been a trip. Well, that's great to know. That's obviously, as you can tell by the title of this Twitch stream, obviously it refers to the fact that we're going to be giving our first impressions on the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl game so far. Also, letting you guys know a bit in advance in regards to when we intend to stream more BDSP in the future. I'm getting the feeling tomorrow will probably be one of those days, but we'll see with Tyrone, see what's going to happen. But point of the matter is, I'm still in that shiny. Oh my god, Joker! No! How long has it been? It's been out for like 3 days now, and I was hoping you would have gotten it by now, buddy. We was really, really hoping you would have found it by this point. Ah, man, but I still wish you the best of luck as always when it comes to these things. So continue to go on that grind, buddy, and we'll hopefully hear some positive responses soon with you finally getting this goddamn shiny of yours. Oh, man. Once again, rooting for the best for you, buddy. That's all I can really say at a time like this. But yeah, so everybody else though, how has your night been, your day been? Hopefully your journey in BDSP. If you guys have gotten the game, please let me know in the chat which version you spent, or which version you've bought, I should say. Did you buy Brilliant Diamond or did you buy yourself Shining Pearl? Really curious to see what kind of responses you guys have for that. I'm gonna get myself ready to go and get set for me to get into the chat, migrate into the chat, and we'll talk with the boys, see what they're doing, and see what we plan to do for tonight. Obviously we got shenanigans to discuss, so Cynthia's still a nightmare as usual, I observe. Is she really? I have not experienced it myself firsthand, so I can't really give a response on that. A lot more BDs than SPs, unfortunately. I guess some of us in the PokePod have SP more than BD, but I don't really know. I didn't pay attention much to it. I know I have it. I know Tyrone has it. Eddie coming in with a donation or of a subscription, actually. Thank you so much, Eddie, for the support, pal. Much appreciated. You guys are amazing for that. Ads after that. Got another set of ads. Jesus Christ, for a dragon. I don't know what's going on with that. Double pack, but FedEx keeps delaying my goddamn order. The lolling cocaine sniffing. TSS would probably love that statement right there. Oh, good lord. Okay, so let me get into the call real quick. Gonna go see the boys here. And yeah, let's see what we got for tonight. All right. Hello, do you hear me loudly and clearly?
Ooh, you kind of sound a little bit weird on my end. Can you
Really
talk?
now? Hold on a second. Well, actually, chat, does it sound weird for them as well? That's what I want to know. Let me see.
Okay, now it's not because initially you had like a little bit of like a I don't know, not exactly a distortion, but kind of like a barrel echo going on. But that was only a couple of seconds.
Okay. Maybe it's just because I was like getting into it that it was just setting me up, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe it was just a transitional thing. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's what I'm just assuming because right now I sound
Yeah.
fine, and chat
Yes.
seems to say I sound fine. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I did hear about that. We'll probably talk about that in a couple of minutes, John. Regarding Nintendo finally joining Sony and Microsoft against the incidents that's been going on with Activision. I think you might recall we talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we got more responses and more information in regards to the action that's happening with Activision and the whole situation at hand, and who's supporting now and who's backing up, the fans and whatnot. For example, I believe Nintendo President Doug Bowser addressed the harassment reports that were shown last week, where which references actions taken with more options on the table and stuff. I could read the article in
Mm.
full, but like Phil Spencer began it all, and then it went into that with uh, with Sony, and then after that with Nintendo. It's just absolutely crazy just to see the shit that's unfolding with Activision. Unfortunately, man. But
Mm.
hopefully, I don't really know what more to really say because it's not necessarily my kind of field for these kind of topics. But I understand the how grotesque this situation is, and all I can just simply say is for the best possible outcome for those who are harmed by the incidents that have happened
Yeah.
within this situation and the information
Mm.
that's being dropped and all that. We deserve a proper closure for those who are uh, harmed from all
Yeah.
this, So
Mm-hmm.
that's the
Mm-hmm.
best thing I could say for now, chat. I think Doug Bowser and the other folks in the companies, I think they feel more. If you want to see a much more proper response, you might want to go check them out. But yeah, so that's all I can really say at the moment. All I just say is screw Activision, the higher ups for making all this shit happen to begin with. Because first of all, that's horrible that we even had to go through this point, man.
Yeah, we went all the way from Activision making such games as Enduro for the Atari 2600 and fucking what was it? Mega Mania, Pitfall, and now we have this bullshit. But then again, though, you have to remember that this is a completely different Activision than it was in the late 1970s, early 1980s.
Yeah, and just as a heads up, people might not recall this, but Activision and Blizzard is currently facing a lawsuit alleging the company fostered workplace, very unfortunate workplace practices and allowed abusive behaviors to go unpunished. So, because of all this information happening right now, that's why companies are starting to report more on this situation. So, the only thing I could
Yeah,
just say as beforehand is simply let's hope for the best possible outcome for those that were harmed from all this
yeah, for the
incident.
victims. Yeah.
The victims. That's the perfect way to say it. So yeah, what else do we do? Then simply begin our shenanigans for the week. Why don't we, TSS? First
Yeah,
of all, how
yeah.
has your day been, buddy? Hopefully everything's been good.
Yeah, it's been all right. Getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday. It's going to be a pretty short week, of course, because Thursday, Friday is going to be the whole Thanksgiving and Black Friday stuff. Well, for some people, it's going to be Black Friday because right now I got no fucking money to buy anything. I just bought freaking Shining Pearl and I'm enjoying the hell out of that.
Mm-hmm.
As a lot of people are. So I mean, we'll talk about the game a little bit later when more people come in. But I just want to say that there's been pretty good deals. Like for example, if you go on like cheap ass gamers Twitter, there's you can get the entire you can get Street Fighter Five Champion Edition for like fucking $15 now.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's pretty people who want to have that, but of course it doesn't include any of the newer DLC. But at least with a Champion Edition, at least $15 is a good price for it, especially if you play it on a PC or you're playing on PS4. It's on. By the way, it's sale on all platforms as far as I know. So yeah, $15. Because remember, well, to be fair, when Champion Edition was announced, I think it was 30. So yeah, half off.
Oh
Nice.
damn. Yeah, I could already hear the people about responding on Black Friday. Yeah, because like regarding like games and all that finally happening, their sales and whatnot, it's great and all. But like for those who are gonna be working throughout Black Friday, or for me, I'm working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is uncommon because
Well,
normally.
African
yeah.
American Friday, you insensitive pricks.
Hey
Jesus.
Tyrone.
What's up?
Yeah, so just to let people know, because obviously Friday, Saturday, and
Well,
Sunday I'm gonna have
yeah,
to be
because you got
working.
because you have to sit in your pool of 150 switches and you have to freaking
And
ship
man,
out
that
shit.
yeah, those switches, they didn't come out of nowhere, man. There's a reason why I have all of these still with me somewhere over there in the
Yeah,
closet. But that's not the point. The point of the matter is it's going to be a busy week for those hard workers out there during this time of
yeah.
season, and to those out there who do have to work those shifts. All I can say off the top of my heart is basically, best of luck, and I'm rooting for the best possible outcome for you.
Yep.
Please
And
be safe.
Shabbat is not saving you because you still have to work on Saturday.
Shit.
Because you have to ship all the items and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the thing is, what's happening is that I have to work on Friday, just regular day. Saturday,
Yes.
I have to work at nighttime after
Yes.
work hours.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then
Because
on
that. Yes.
Sunday, I have to work
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
morning.
Because you have to. Yeah. Because you have to be there when the people are present, which is going to be 1 hour after sundown, which is probably going to be like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we're expecting 5 or 6 o'clock is what they're aiming for with this.
Yes.
And we're gonna be working the super late shifts, and I'm like, oh god, this is
Yep.
bringing back
Because
old
that's
memories.
yeah.
See, it's all you
Well.
fuckers' fault for
Well.
creating Black Friday.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. As far as I know, I think an article was posted that Target will no longer be open on Thursday.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
so no longer on Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Why? Because that's the
well, you
right thing to
answered it.
do.
Let's say you just answered it.
It's the right thing to do because the problem is in the last like 10 years, all of these companies they want to have, they want to give a reason why, it's fucked up because people will have to have Thanksgiving dinner at like 2 o'clock in the fucking afternoon and have to go to work at
I
6.
wanna clarify something, by the way. I completely forgot about Thanksgiving for like a second. So when you said Target is closed on Thursday, I thought you meant every Thursday, and I freaked the fuck out instantly. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Why Thursdays?
The stock market's gonna crash.
No, Ebo. Target has been open on fucking Thanksgiving since like maybe 2011 or
KJ,
2010.
KJ, I don't know if you've seen Rick and Morty or not, but there's a scene that I thought of immediately when TSS said that, and I forgot about Thanksgiving. I thought that was gonna be like a gentleman. There's a solution that we're not seeing here, and then he just shoots himself in the head.
But to be fair, you remember if you work with retailers like
Oh,
freaking Adorama and
no.
fucking B&H are closed on Saturday.
And it immediately hit me. I'm like, that's right. Thanksgiving is this week. October was literally 1 week, and now we're in Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man, the pandemic really has fucked with our times, man.
I'm like, oh my god, was my birthday really like last week?
Yes.
It only took me
Holy
now to
shit.
discover that Pokemon Snap didn't release last year, released this year, and I thought it
Yep.
released last year. That's how fucked up this whole
Right?
situation is.
Oh my god. So like for a minute, my brain
I know,
finally
it's
picked
understood.
up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
my brain was like, he's talking about Thanksgiving, you fucking idiot. And then I was like, I thought you were like Target just closed on Thursday. I'm like, for what, motherfucker?
How
Well,
dare you?
to be fair, it's not. I mean, to be fair, it's not different than being closed on Saturday, being closed on Sunday, even for the Italian people, closed on Monday.
And immediately I thought back to all the times I went to Target and I had to ask myself, were those on a Thursday?
It's like the Berenstein effect.
Right, yeah.
Go
The
to Target on
Mandela
Thursday.
effect. You've only been to Target on Thursdays, motherfucker. Now you can't do it. Oh my god.
Feels so alienating now.
Now I'm on a mission to make sure that I go to Target every Thursday after Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna make sure this shit stays open no matter what.
So why are you here again? To support y'all.
Because you clearly need supporting, damn it.
Oh my goodness. Are we like, can I bring some news that I just discovered?
Sure.
Sure, go ahead, buddy.
All right. Since we were talking about Black Friday, some of y'all are probably thinking, well, what should I get for Black Friday? I'm not saying you should get Sonic Colors Ultimate, but they just made some patches, and I want to read them.
Okay.
So one of the patches improved stability on all platforms. So Sonic can
The
stand the fuck
usual.
still, right? Updates to the save game system. That way, saving in certain parts won't make it wonky. Audio mix improvements. That basically means the music won't bug out during some of the levels. Music loops now on credits because for some reason the credits are way longer in this version than in the original version. So now you don't get that empty, silent void of nothing while Sonic breaks the credits. Now you actually get some music. Update to giving credit where credit is due. Trophy achievement descriptions. So now you get like full detail of what the fucking trophies are and how to get them. Switch specific updates include Eggman's fireworks now appear at the end of terminal velocity. That's good. PC specific updates are fixed issues where the yellow wisp could not damage Captain Jelly. That was a problem because if you use in the Wii version, if you use drill, you can do double damage to Captain Jelly if you use the alien powers. Now you can actually do that. The last change says various bug fixes. I'm just gonna let y'all use your imagination on that one because I don't even fucking know. It literally says various bug fixes.
Probably too many to note.
Right, pretty much. So at this point, Sonic Colors Ultimate is moderately good now.
But only moderately. Let's be clear.
Yeah, but so that's what's going on with Sonic Colors Ultimate to the very least. So if you're debating about trying to get it, well, at least now the game's kind of fixed.
No, it's still bad.
Yeah, it's got a big old bandage on it. So yeah, Sonic Colors Ultimate. Maybe pick it up. I'm not sponsored by Sega, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, but you know who we're sponsored by, though?
Who?
Artesian Builds.
Artesian Builds,
Ladies
not
and gentlemen,
artisan
would
like
you like
I
to
thought
get
it
yourself
was.
a brand new PC built from the ground up using high tech and all that jazz that even I don't necessarily know myself? Well, you can check it out through Artesian Builds, where they can check all the cool information that you would possibly need to know about building computers and whatnot. And also, thank you so much for following Icarus Gray as well. Great timing too. I'm talking about something really special.
Yes,
as well.
you say the technical stuff so we don't look incompetent.
But most
Yes.
importantly, though, let me one last thing before I pass it to TSS. Most importantly, if you ever want to see your PC built from the ground up, you can actually go and check up on their Twitch channel to see when it's gonna be your turn to see your PC be built live, and potentially through their live streams, you can even boost it up a little bit and potentially upgrade even further from the support from the chat as well. More information on that through the little linky down below, so make sure to check that out. Also, one last thing to note as well. In the background, I'm actually working on reopening the shop again for the holiday season, because I noticed that we haven't had that. I normally just want to keep it open during the holiday season, but the PokePod merch is going to be coming throughout the holidays. So make sure to tune in throughout this channel and also on Twitter to be notified when we're going to be doing that again. Hopefully we'll get our buddy Sergi to also make us some custom made shirts as well, in terms of like artwork and whatnot. So
Yeah.
please stay tuned in the channel to find out more information about that. So we'll speak with you
Yeah,
guys
because
soon.
we definitely need a fucking ugly sweater. Where's my ugly sweater?
It's gonna be like the turtleneck sweater, fucking long sleeve, green colored.
Yeah, and it's gonna have like the money logo on the fucking.
Yeah, it's gonna say like in quote the
I
money.
want Sergi to design a Raichu ugly sweater. I will wear that.
Deck the halls with $20. La 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 la. 'Tis the season to get money. La 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 la.
Write it down. Write it down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Before they steal Tyler the Tyrone holiday album coming soon.
Yeah.
All right, TSS, I'll pass it on to you, buddy. If you had
All right. For what?
Tyrone said he had something for you.
For what?
No, I said no. When
No,
KG,
no.
It came off as a joke, but I think KG took it seriously.
Yeah,
I was gonna
I was so thrown off by that.
when KG said the
No.
technical stuff that even I don't understand. I was like, TSS,
Like
please
I'm
say
the
it.
one. Yeah, I'm the one that understands that shit.
He does. We don't.
Also, in emulation news, a few things about emulation. Okay. So a couple of breakthroughs. So number one, there is going to be. It's not public yet. but if you go on various YouTube channels, there's going to be a new Android emulator for the PS2. So a PS2 emulator for Android called Aether SX2. And supposedly, if you have a decent chipset, like a Snapdragon like 855 and up,
Barbecue.
you can play PS2 games that will render, that will act that showing on like the bug screens and stuff. You could play games like freaking Resident Evil 4 at like 150 FPS on a fucking phone. So this is there's some unofficial like alpha APKs, but I'm just gonna put it in the chat here in the Twitch chat. It's called Aether SX2, so look out for that. So for the people that don't want that the Damon PS2, which was bullshit, and also there was kind of a shroud of controversy. You'll finally have a PS2 emulator that you could use on your phone, and you can finally play fucking games.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Also, it was discovered today also that if you that on Intel's 12th gen processors, if you disable the E-cores, the energy efficient cores, and enable AVX 512, it boosts performance in RPCS3 or the PS3 emulator. That's even that's like a 25% uplift, even from the 11th gen Intels, and even more from the Zen 3s. So if you're getting a 12th gen, or as I like to call it, the long boy Intel 12th gen Core i7 or Core i9s, and you want to play PS3 emulation, then that is the ticket. But of course, it's going to cost in a lot of ways, like a freaking energy efficiency. The energy usage is going to go fucking through the roof. But it's nice to see that potentially RPCS3 is now taking advantage of AVX 512 instructions. But yeah, but other than that, I mean, you have some new like handhelds using some Tiger socks, like the T310 SoC that's coming out on the I guess the Pocket Go 2 Plus or whatever the hell it is. So there's a lot of stuff happening in like the Chinese handheld stuff, but I would say for now, phone emulation is where it's at. Like if you buy like a decent, or if you have a decent phone, just fucking use Android. Also, in the last few weeks, I've been just tinkering around with one of the new features in RetroArch, and I think let me just make sure I got this right.
New feature.
Yes, it's one of the new features for that. So it's give me 1 second. I'm gonna look at what it is, because let's see, that's a bug fix. That's a locker release.
That's a feature.
It is a plug. Yeah, that is correct. It has to do with actually latency. Because I'm trying to think, because it was the actually let me just fire up RetroArch real fast.
Okay.
Because it's something having to do with the latency. It's in the latency menu. I'm gonna check right now, because I want to talk about it for a little bit. Oh yeah, it's called automatic frame delay, and what it basically means is that it will prevent frame dropping, but it will also make the it'll make the response faster in sacrifice of performance. And I have tried it with NES, SNES, and some of the other 16-bit and 8-bit consoles, and it does feel like you're playing it on a CRT. Like the latency and the frame, because what it basically does is it buffers the polling and buffers the frame, so it's like instantaneous. It's not exactly like Run Ahead. Run Ahead is a little bit different. Run Ahead actually it doesn't do the same thing as this frame latency, because what it does is it synchronizes the frame. So it synchronizes the frames together so that when you press a button, you're not going to miss a frame. So it's going to be same frame all the time, and that is going to vastly improve response.
Not with that button.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Sorry.
basically for people that don't know, on a 60 hertz display, it's 16.67 milliseconds of latency per frame. So what ends up happening is a lot of what software emulation usually does is it pulls the USB controller or whatever you're using at certain intervals, usually like 1,000 milliseconds or whatever. Well, what ends up happening is you might press a button, but it doesn't. But it's a little bit delayed in reaction, so the button press doesn't get registered by the emulator until maybe 1 or 2 frames later, and by that time, that's why you have like cheap deaths in when you play stuff on an LCD TV or whatever, or anything that's not a CRT. So what this basically does is that now it synchronizes the emulator with the frame timing, so that more instant response, and then you know that when you press a button, something is going to happen. And it is really fun. It is really fun to check out. Once again, that's new for 1.9.13. It's called automatic frame delay. Like I said though, you got to have for the lower end stuff like NES, you could and SNES, you can pretty much do it on any machine. But if you try to do it on something like the Nintendo 64 or PlayStation, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge.
It's gonna be
But
cost
you could always.
effective.
Yeah, well, yeah. Basically, the emulator is going to slow down. But you should definitely try it. It's in the latency menu in the settings. Go to automatic frame delay and just turn it on, and just see it. You'll see the difference for yourself. It's really cool to have, very tight controls now. Like if you're playing like Super Mario Brothers Run or whatever, you could then you could use that to your advantage instead of using like a CRT.
Interesting.
So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can find. Okay, let me see here. What was this? Oh, you had, yeah. I mean, to be fair, a machine from the early 2000s, like a core, like maybe like a Sandy Bridge or something, can still be good for everything up until like I want to say Dolphin, especially if you have a GPU. If you have even like even a mobile like a CPU, like let's say for example a laptop with like an 11th gen Core i5 or something, like a newer laptop, you can get away with integrated graphics. You can play fucking. I was even playing Citra at like 2x, even on integrated graphics on an 8th gen laptop CPU. So it's crazy to see how great integrated graphics has been, especially on if you get an AMD APU. It's crazy to think, you get like a Zen 2 or Zen 3 APU. That's crazy. Let me see.
Okay,
What would you recommend? A 24-inch iMac or a 24-inch?
27.
I 27 or 24. 27 because usually get a better thing. But the thing is, what are you gonna do with it?
Because 27 is higher than 24. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the thing though is like, the other question is, it's like, is it gonna be like, because the iMacs now are switching over to the M1, which
Took them a while.
I mean, it does, but it's that's what it is. I mean, you're gonna have the iPad, the M1 Pro, the M1, but then again though, if you want my opinion on the M1. I have a freaking 20-minute rant on freaking the channel that tells you why the fuck are you buying that on a freaking MacBook.
Fuck you
It's called TSS
buying?
versus technology on the PokePod
Why the
channel.
fuck you buying? Oh my god. Stop fucking buying.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thing. While the M1 Pro does have potential for other things, if you want to get something that you actually want to do work on, get x86. Get anything with like x86, like either Zen 3 or like 11th or 12th gen Intel, because in the long run that'll be better than what Apple is offering in their iMacs, unless if it's Intel based. But still, I if you actually want to get stuff done, unless if you're using fucking Final Cut Pro, don't use a Mac.
Oh, there you go, ladies. Or ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow has been something I've been using and I've been loving. I mean, I've mentioned it many times before. Many of the things I created back then during the X and Y and Sun and Moon eras was done through ScreenFlow, one of my favorite programs that's only available on the Mac. So, once again, the name of it is called ScreenFlow. So, there you go.
Screen flow motion.
Oh, Mornox asked if you could put that in the chat by any chance.
Which what the
X86 was it that we were talking about?
Well, yeah. So you want to get like anything like a Zen 3 or 11th and 12th Gen Intel i7. Probably you want to get like a Zen 3. So Zen 3 is basically like the 5800X, 5900X, 5950X. So yeah, i7 or i9. So depending on what your budget is. Problem is, if you try to build a computer these days, GPUs are pretty much like hot commodities right now. I mean we've already talked a few weeks back about the shipment of EVGA graphics cards that were fucking hijacked and stolen.
Yeah,
So,
which is
I mean,
absolutely insane that somehow happened.
Yeah, because it got stolen on the way it was transferring between distribution warehouses, and that's freaking stupid.
It's sad it happened, but it is a reality we live in, ladies and gents. So, not much to say on that. It's just sad.
Yeah. Yeah, 3080s and 3090s. Yeah, you'll be lucky. Yeah, you're very welcome. So, like I said, if you want real stuff, and also just buy like I don't know, buy like a 1440p monitor or a 4K monitor. It doesn't matter, because those could be had for anywhere between like $200 and $500. So it depends on what you want. I mean, if you want like an all-rounder like gaming machine, you either go for a Zen 3 or you go for, I'd say, 12th gen Intel at this point. So yeah, I mean, there's no real disadvantage between both of them. Just get what you can get.
Yeah.
Also, I think the Zen 3 stuff is actually on sale for Black Friday. So if you get your hands on, because I think at some point I think Micro Center actually slashed the price of the 5800X to like $300.
Really
So,
now?
Yay.
How much was the original price again for that?
$450.
Ah, okay, so yeah, like
$150 off.
Yeah, $150 off. Not bad at all. Hey, listen, $150 is $150. Damn it. So,
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm rocking the 5800X, and I've been very satisfied with its performance. I've been able to play everything that I've thrown at it, including like Switch emulation. It works fine.
nice.
And I have a GTX 2060, so it works. It pretty much handles everything. 1070 is not bad. Yeah, 1070 is actually okay.
Yeah, 1070 is still viable even now.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem is I think Nvidia actually had to remanufacture like 1050 Ti's, and that's like a fucking 6-year-old card at this point.
Why exactly?
Demand. They had
people were still demanding that shit.
Well, yeah, because basically nobody could get fucking GPUs. So what does Nvidia do? Just remanufacture the old cards.
If you can't find these other ones, get these instead.
Yeah, and then the basic, cheap price. Yeah, fuck no.
Well,
yeah, you're still gonna be paying. You're still gonna. And actually, the funny thing was, I think it was like they reissued like a 1060 or whatever, and it's like it was actually more expensive than what the car was when it was new.
Yeah, I saw Linus Tech say
60. Yeah, Linus Tech Tips say the 1650 GTX. For now, yes, but if I were you, anything RTX 20 series or 30 series, because you get ray tracing stuff.
Remember, man, just because it's good now doesn't mean it'll be good in like 5 days from now.
Well,
technology moves. That's the thing.
Well, usually what I do is I buy a graphics card every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I
tells me. That's
I mean, I
4
buy a
years
graphics
later.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely true. It's been I've always bought graphics cards knowing that I'm going to be using it for 4 years, because in that case, then if you average out the cost of the graphics card over the period of time, then it's worth the money. Because I was able to get a 2060 before the pandemic prices fucking hit it. So I got it for like, I think it was $300. And then the pandemic prices hit, and then it skyrocketed to like fucking $600.
Damn.
Yep, that's basically what it is. Yeah.
Damn, son.
Where'd you find those?
Keep hearing buy the latest now and have it be a brick in 5 years. That's not. I mean, like I said, I mean, to be fair, my previous machine, which I'd been using until last November, I had been using that computer for 9 years. I built a Z68 motherboard with a i7 2600K, and then I was rocking that with graphics cards. I had a GTX 470, then I upgraded to the 970, and then finally the 2060. And then finally, after 9 years, I switched over to a RTX. I switched over to the AMD 5800X and a B550 motherboard, 32 gigs of RAM. Let's see, Founders Edition one or a custom one? The custom one, because the Founders Edition, I don't like the shroud and the fan. I would say it's not as efficient as the other like third-party cards, like EVGA. Like, I would solidly go for EVGA because they have a great track record and great warranty program.
Hold on, let me just double check real quick. Lightning said something about your adventures. Oh, you bought the Art of Pokemon Adventures book. Yeah, I actually got that.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
In fact, the Art of Pokemon Adventures, I bought the Japanese one because I think it took them a while before it released into US. So I have a Japanese version of that book, which is still the same thing because it's like the only difference is just the name and the translations and whatnot. But if you're just there for the book and art alone, they're pretty much the same.
Eddie, I would say keep the card because the card is actually is valuable now, because the problem is if you try to sell that card, you're not going to get a card for a decent price for a long time because of the demand.
Remember, think of it for the long term, not the short term. It'll take a while before who knows when the next thing will become available.
I would say use the 1070 until it dies.
Jesus.
Yeah, literally, just use it until it dies.
Dead ass.
Just straight up wait for it to die, and then you can
because you might be able to spin it for a profit now, but the problem is the graphics cards are inflated by like fucking like maybe 90, like maybe 75% or 80% more than what the card is actually worth. Jesus. Like or even some cases double the price. Like if you try to find, like right now, I wager anybody to go on Newegg, Amazon, or Micro Center. Well, not Micro Center, Newegg or Amazon right now, and try to find an RTX like 3060. So yeah,
there might be on
but
sale.
long term is expensive. Yes, that is true. Long term is expensive, but my philosophy is, you spend as much money right now to get the best that you can get. Because if that computer lasts you at least 6 or 7 years, then it pays for itself.
Who that? Who that here?
Who that?
It's Dean!
Hi, how you guys doing?
Wait a minute, you said you were supposed to join 20 minutes before, not 20
You
minutes
liar!
after.
Oh, I didn't go into work because, my back hurts. Yeah, let's go.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Actually, it does hurt, but whatever. I'm an old man, so get over
it. It hurts from not being a part of the PokePod. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You have to now
carry
Rick Perry back pain. Okay, cool.
Your back hurts. Now you're back to the PokePod.
Yeah. What are we all talking about?
They just watch it online. You motherfucker, I knew it.
Just giving some tech advice, because there's some people because I was talking about emulators, and people were wanting to know about, what computer components to buy right now, because it's very tempting, because you'll see a lot of Black Friday sales, but the problem is a lot of them are like, and this has been the case for like the last few years, where you might find a CPU that's really, really good price, but it's from like 2 generations before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I still have a PC that's like 5 years old and it does everything I need to, so I don't see a point to upgrade right now. I don't play a lot of PC games really.
Yeah, that's what the consoles are built for for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also on a note, the 5800X also does really well on Xbox 360 emulation too.
Huh, neato.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so obviously, first of all,
Dean,
that is a good. Well, first of all, that is very good information to know because, as you stated before, TSS Black Friday is coming up. So, if you folks out there are looking to try to get your hands on some tech for your PC, do make sure to investigate every site, know when things are going to go on sale, and be prepared. Because, boy, people are going to go and hunt that shit down. And it's important for you guys to know to shop responsibly and all that. So keep that in mind when Black Friday shows up. So yeah. So first of all, Dean, welcome again for another session.
Hello.
Glad to have you here, buddy. And
Glad to be here.
I also, and I mentioned this in the chat, but most people might not see it because it's in your avatar. But nice avatar, though.
Hi, thanks. I'm gonna officially reveal it later
Nice.
on Twitter, so I'm gonna wait a
Nice.
little bit. So.
Looking forward to that. But yeah, so now obviously we got the tech stuff out of the way. We got the controversy talk out of the way with Activision. We got whatever we were talking about before that as well. Also, Pocket Monsters, real quick. PM 2019, the manga had just ended not too long ago as well. Just
It ended?
Yeah, it ended. They stated that it wasn't going to
Jesus.
continue. I know,
Yeah,
the manga was
yeah.
so good.
that means that there's going to be a volume 5. Because,
Yeah, there is still one more volume coming. It's just, unfortunately, that's the last one, so.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I think they ended it off in the battle against Volkner, if I'm correct. So, yeah. They ended it with Volkners,
Okay.
and then they ended
What a
it with...
weird ending, but I.
Hey, listen, they ended it with the Sun and Moon thingy, so I'll be happy for just that alone, even if we had to skip out so much other stuff. But, hey, Sun and Moon rep. But anyway, so sad to see the manga go, unfortunately. I thought it was going to continue going. I honestly liked what I saw, especially from some certain angle shots of that manga series. But,
So what are
things-
they gonna do now, though?
the anime. It's going back to
Hey,
pure
yeah,
anime.
just watch the.
Oh,
This is one of the weird
okay,
situations
okay.
where the anime goes longer than the manga.
I know,
That's-
right?
It's weird. Okay,
You
so they're not
just
doing a
know
manga
that
then right now.
everything from that finale of the chapter and onward in anime form is just straight up filler. Just think of it like the Full Metal Alchemist from when it first released, not the Brotherhood.
I see.
Think of it like
Okay.
that. Yeah, everything
Yeah.
from this point onward in the journey's anime is filler. No, I'm just kidding. But let's see.
Well-
What else we got to talk about? Since we're talking about Pokemon, why don't we take a second to talk about the latest release of Pokemon that they just had a couple of days ago? Now titled Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which is meant to be a nice little throwback into the world of DP in the Sinnoh region. A lot of us here have already played it, some more than others, some still very early in game. But hey,
I'm at Snow Point, so I'm right at the 7th gym.
nice.
Oh,
And
wow.
I am very excited to talk a little bit about this game and give overall our impressions on the title thus far, because many of us here have different, I guess, viewpoints to what we see from these said remakes. So yeah, let's go have some fun with it. First of all, with Dane here, I'm kind of curious though. You have BDSP, do you? Or no?
Yes, I do. I have a story about it though, how I got it.
Oh yes, you do tell.
If you've
Story
seen my
time.
tweets, essentially what happened was I pre-ordered it from GameStop because I had some store credits, so I wanted to use it. Right, that was the whole reason I got it from GameStop. Turns out that it didn't show up on time. I had an issue with Pokemon Sword and Shield where whenever I pre-ordered that game, it actually got lost in the mail. Someone stole it. So.
Jesus.
And I thought the same thing was going to happen again because it didn't show up on time. It was like 3 or 4 days late. It hasn't shown up as of yet. As of today, it still hasn't shown up. It was supposed to be here Friday. So I was like, what the heck's going on? So I contacted GameStop and was like, hey, what's going on? Where's my copy? They're like, all right, we'll give you a refund. They still haven't given me a refund. It was supposed to be like 24 hours ago. Still hasn't done it. So what happened was I went out to my local Walmart, bought Brilliant Diamond instead. So I was like, okay, clearly my copy's not coming. I got a confirmation today that it's coming, finally. So now I'm going to have 2 copies of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. So, that's
Wait, you
fun.
didn't get Shining Pearl?
No, I thought about getting Shining Pearl. I was like, maybe I really wanted Diamond, you know?
Hey,
I
give me your diamond version.
I have Pearl.
I-
Give me Diamond, damn it.
I'm going to try to get a refund on the GameStop one and see if it works. But still,
Yeah.
now I'm going to have 2 copies of Diamond. I'm like, ugh, whatever.
Nah, I can understand. Yeah, it just sucks when things don't go the way you
Yeah,
hope.
it's been a big mess. And I was like, I should have just bought it, you know, at my local store and been done with it.
I
But,
would say I work at GameStop, and I told you that was a mistake to pre-order on GameStop.
oh, yeah, 100%. I should have known better. It's always having problems from there.
Yeah, when I worked there, I mean, the pre-orders always had fucking problems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My roommate still hasn't got his either. So I don't know what's
Damn.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the double pack too.
It mostly
so.
comes for games that like, okay, so GameStop, like when you pre-order games, the GameStop, for the most part, and you probably pre-ordered from a GameStop whose primary demographic wasn't fucking RPGs, JRPGs.
No.
So you probably pre-ordered from a GameStop who majorly sells like Grand Theft Auto, like Grand Theft Auto, Call of
Madden.
Duty, Madden, that shit, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
they will have midnight releases for that shit, but for Pokemon, they don't give a fuck about Pokemon. They're literally like, yo, if you pre-order Pokemon, you gotta pray that they made the order to bring it to that specific GameStop. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like, oh no, they ain't got it they didn't deliver it to our store yet, so we gotta fucking wait for them to deliver enough copies. Otherwise, the only ones that are selling are gonna be the ones that are on the shelf. The shelved copies weirdly sell faster than the pre-order copies, which were pre-ordered. But because they were pre-ordered, they're in a special package because they need to do that for the people who pre-ordered them. Unfortunately, if it isn't in high demand, then that means what happens is that the pre-order package doesn't get, packaged.
Oh gosh.
It's
You
MIA
wind up in
somewhere.
So you wind up in this situation where, Call of Duty's coming out like tomorrow. Let's go ahead and throw a midnight party complete with beers, bitches, and pizza. But Pokemon, unfortunately, gets shit, we may got it. Let me look in the back.
Yeah, we can't put bitches with Pokemon. The hell?
Yeah, I contacted GameStop support about the whole thing too. I talked to some guy named Jose something. I don't know. He's not.
This Jose, welcome to
obviously.
GameStop. I'm gonna help you.
Yeah. Essentially, it was one of those.
We
guys.
ain't got it. We ain't got it. Shut up.
And I was like, "Can I get a refund on the game?" And he's like,
no
yeah.
refund. Shut up.
Oh, he's like, "Okay, I'll get you a replacement." And I said, "No, I want a refund." He's like, "Okay, I'll get you a refund and a replacement." I'm like, "Wait, so I'm getting a free copy of the game?"
Hold on. You say you want you say you want refund?
I have
hold
it.
on.
I have a screenshot.
Un momento, por favor. Sorry, so we're not giving a refund back. You can just come up and get the game.
Yeah.
But you still gotta pay
I
for it
screenshotted this whole
separately.
conversation.
You still gotta
because
pay for it.
Tyrone out
so
here
weird.
sounding like fucking Kiss car service. But yeah, so for me, as you saw on Twitter, I went to Nintendo New York because I was trying to, I was just saying, okay, I'm gonna be in the city anyway. I'm gonna see what they have. So first of all, on the first floor, they really did a great job in setting up the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl displays because they had the wall. They had on the back of the wall facing when you get into anybody who has ever gone to Nintendo New York, if you go in and you go in halfway and then you look to your right, the windows that are showing there. They plastered the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl like wallpaper logos on it, and that was pretty fun. Also at the entrance, as you probably saw on Twitter if you follow me, they have both they have both the protagonists along with the Pikachu that's like the cutouts, and then you have a big Pokeball there. You turn to your left, and then you have basically a giant version of what's on the poster. And then they have a little stand that has the map. Now, the funny thing is, I just said, okay, I would like Shining Pearl. And then what do? They give me 2 posters. And I was like, oh, wow. It's like not even a pre-order, just got the fucking posters.
Yeah,
I'm like, cool.
certain moments when you're there, they make so much of it that by that point, they're just like, okay, we'll just give extras.
As I mentioned also, I overheard a guy online because I had to wait because it was like 1:00 in the afternoon. I was waiting. And there was about maybe 25 people online. One guy I overheard saying to somebody else that at like 11 o'clock in the morning that it was like 100 people waiting online because they have capacity. They control capacity now at Nintendo New York, so you have to wait outside, and they tell you when you can go in.
Yeah, you also have to do reservations on their site. Certain moments, if you're like want to
Certain,
be,
yeah.
you know.
Certain. They make appointments, but they also have walk-ins, so they limit the amount of walk-ins because of
Yeah.
the whole
Pandemic,
whole thing.
unfortunately. I guess, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about regarding, like, just the delivery of Pokemon? Because I feel like everybody has horror stories, and meanwhile, I'm over here just like, I just bought the game digitally because fuck it.
I almost did that. I almost bought it digitally for Shining Pearl because I knew I was getting Diamond. But I was
A couple
like,
of friends of mine actually got their games early, like a day early, because Amazon shipped it out early.
oh, I should have done that. I usually go through Amazon, but
I don't trust Amazon that much.
Oh, yeah, not really.
Well,
No,
Amazon. Well, the only way that you would trust Amazon is if you live like literally next to the damn warehouse
Yeah, and no, I don't.
distribution center. I don't live too far, so if I order something at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I get it the next day.
Nice.
So-
But yeah, so the reason why I say these things about like this deliveries and all that, because well, I don't trust them at all to begin with, because they lost something very special to me that I really wanted for Mother's Day.
Yeah,
And that
Red
shit-
Dragon, you're talking
Aw.
about. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the same place that me and Tyrone got like Let's Go 2 days, like a day early.
So yeah, that sucked. But overall, things are fine now. But that's the only reason really why I bought it digitally. Now, speaking about lines, TSS, I thought that was a perfect opportunity for me to take a second to talk about something we didn't attend this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To let people know, every year on November, specifically during the middle of November, there's always
Around
an
my
event-
birthday.
Yeah, around your birthday. We always go to an event titled Anime NYC. Every year, me, TSS, and whoever joins us during that time, whether it be Evie or Polly, or even some of the folks that we have here in this call, like Tyrone, would
Once, yeah.
oftentimes
And
join
also
us for that.
Red Dragon, and
Yeah, it's some in the chat might also be familiar with it too if you've
And
ever
Polly
been.
and Natalie went. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of our friends and those we met in person too, we had an opportunity to, interact with people. But this year was a little bit different. This is the first convention now that Anime NYC is doing during the pandemic, because last year they had to come to the conclusion of closing it down for
Yeah.
that year because of the incidents that you saw unfold with the pandemic. So
Yeah.
this year they're like, okay, we couldn't do it last year. We promised this year. Let's see how things will go. So how exactly did things shape up? For those who might have gone maybe on a Saturday or on a Sunday, I think you guys might have been okay. But let's talk about Friday real quick, because
Hey, bitch.
I had to ask TSS. I needed to make sure that what I was reading was actually legit, because I asked TSS, where exactly does Javits Center reside in? Like, what street is that place in? And TSS told me that it was in 34th Street. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense, yeah. And the reason why I told him that is because I discovered that somebody tweeted saying that the line goes 7 blocks from where that Anime NYC convention is, up to 41st Street, and somebody even went up and said 44th Street as well a couple of hours later, or like a couple of minutes later after that. I think somebody might have just been far up ahead already to 41st Street, and then there was
Yeah.
another person who actually waited in line, and now they're in 44th Street. At least that's what I heard from what I know. But but there is legitimate pictures proving that line stretched out to 40 fucking First Street, bro. I saw that image. I showed it to TSS.
If anybody want to know, go on Google Maps. Go to the Javits Center, which is on 34th and 12th, and then count the blocks all the way up to 41st to 44th. It's pretty long.
It's a long boy for this one. They said and here's the big kicker as to why. No, it's not necessarily that HoloLive was there, because first of all, HoloLive is great and all, and even MiHoYo was there and all that. But what was the big issue and the reason why it was so controversial was because Anime NYC, I don't think they had a clear idea for what they wanted to do when it comes into giving people the vaccination band, which is supposed to be your way of verifying that you have, the card and you showed it, it's legal and everything like that.
Yes.
Because you need to show your vaccination card. They added an additional step this year because of the current pandemic we are in.
Yeah.
But whoever thought it was okay to only have 4 people to check the vaccination cards in what is like thousands is absolutely ridiculous in my book. That makes no sense whatsoever. That you think having only 4
no
people,
swab test.
There was no swab test, but there was only 4 workers who had to do the vaccination
Swab
thing.
team. Swab team, move out. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Don't ignore me.
But it was good.
Swab team.
And I think the worst part is that was just the line to get into the line.
They just got giant battering rams that look like Q-tips.
Yeah.
Swab team, move out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you
That's
still
the line
had
to get into the line.
Yeah, you had to get into the line in Anime NYC, and if you didn't get your badges before then, you're gonna have to wait even longer to get your shit.
Yeah, wait online again.
Yeah. To then get your badge, to then wait in line, to then go in. So
why does that remind me of the Fairly Odd Parents joke?
Oh, it's like, where's the ride?
This is the ride.
Right.
Yippee! Somebody literally posted that during Anime NYC. there was a tweet. I forgot what it was. There was a tweet that somebody said, I just witnessed like somebody breaking up with a guy. And a couple of minutes later, that woman saw another guy and now is with that other person far up ahead in line compared to the one she just broke up with. All in the matter of that time, bro. In the Anime NYC line. And I thought they were joking, but then somebody asked, is this shit legit? It's legit.
So, did you guys get in or not?
No. Okay, to clarify, me, TSS, Polly, and pretty much everybody in the PokePod, I believe, not gone this year at all.
Oh.
No.
We only are talking about it from the perspective of just simply being watchers from afar.
I thought Polly said she was going.
She wanted to go, but she ultimately canceled it. And
that sucks.
It's for the better.
My official response was, I think Nessa or someone was saying, "Oh, you're gonna go to NYC," and I said, "Hell no," because I knew that it was gonna. Because first of all,
because there's a panoramic happening.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna be comfortable in going to.
That's right. There's cameras at the fucking Anime NYC.
Because
I have news because of that, but I'll save it for later after you guys are done.
All right, go on, TSS.
No, but I'm not to say, I didn't even want to bother with it this year because I didn't want to deal with the crap associated with it. And plus, like I said, BDSP was coming out, and I was like, no, it's not worth it for me. It's not worth to going through all that headache just to not do anything. I mean, the other problem, of course, is that if you're not early into a panel, you're going to get shut out because of a lot of the panels can only hold so much, and I could just imagine now.
Oh gosh.
Probably even more capacity limits, or maybe
the Funimation, the Sword Art Online. I think HoloLive had their
the HoloLive council, the HoloLive council. So you had like Crony, you had
I think it was there.
Good as there. Oh.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was.
No, there was a post cut of her. It a cutout board of her.
Cut out.
So taking a picture with Gura. I think the Prime Minister took a picture with that, if I recall.
You did that at home. Just take...
It was Brick that day too. What?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
I mean, yeah. Of course, it was Brick. Yeah.
Ah, shit.
It was cold. Yeah.
Oh,
because the folks that don't know this guy, that guy, and he must be a true New Yorker because he just said fucking brick. When anybody says brick in New York, it means it's fucking cold.
Yeah,
it means cold. When it's fucking brick outside, it's fucking cold.
I didn't know that, and I'm a New Yorker. Right
That's because
back
you're
in.
not a cultured man.
No, listen, man. We've already gone through this like
Oh, yeah,
100,000 times.
yeah, Sana. We had Crony doing the guacs. We had Space Australia. I think
Wasn't it the
Bay,
owl or some shit?
Bay maybe I think.
Yeah, I think it's the entire council squad. I think the
Moon
the
Man.
mouse was
Yeah.
there too. Not Iron Mouse.
I'm a
the other
Hollow
mouse.
Life expert. You can ask me anything.
Not, listen. If Iron Mouse was to appear, in VTuber form in Anime New York City, you would be freaking end of the road.
Nah, shit, man. We would be breaking everything in our paths just to see that.
I would say, okay, fuck it, I'm going.
No, I will admit though, when we all came to the decision of saying, "Nah, we're not going this year," they straight up announced they were going the following day. I remember that shit because me and TSS and Polly, we were talking about it for a little bit in the messenger,
Yes.
and we all came to the conclusion that this year, nah, we're not gonna go. Literally 24 hours later, they just straight up announced, "Oh, by the way, a month before this is about to happen, Hololive is coming. They got merch. They're gonna have a panel. They're gonna have all this shit." When the fuck was this when we could have received it like back in the summer season, bro, when it was still available to, buy it at a cheaper price. And maybe I could have been like a little, okay, you might got my attention. I might not be a VTuber fanatic like other people out here are. But just the thought of maybe just buying at least some of the merch, I thought would be pretty cool. And then I find out Genshin is having a goddamn panel there where you can actually buy a lot of their acrylic standees, their plushies, their merch of posters and all that shit. And then that's when I lost my shit, and I'm like, I could have had a Ganyu acrylic in my hands if I had gone, but I was like, whatever, not this year. But don't worry, that's
Not this year, baby.
Yeah, but that's what we're gonna be talking about soon. Tyrone actually wanted to bring something up, and I thought it'd be appropriate now to send it over to him to talk about whatever he wanted to talk about.
For next year, they announced that it'll be on the 18th to the 20th. And we didn't go last year. Y'all didn't, but
because there wasn't one.
Because there wasn't. Yeah, I mean, we didn't. Y'all guys didn't go this year, but next year, in addition to KG and the others, I will be going.
Yes, he will be returning to ANYC this year. It'll be his second time, no?
Yep. So I come back to Anime NYC along with the others.
And
back,
coming back
y'all.
to NY in general.
Yep. It'll be my second
again,
trip there. Yes.
Then we could see Richie get snow blown with the Zamboni again.
Yeah, so
Again.
so ladies and gentlemen, you have 1 year to prepare. You get the entire PokePod, because that's the idea at least. The entire PokePod will be at Anime NYC next year. All of them.
Panels not included.
Oh shit! You don't know what I can do.
Okay, hold on. Let me just write this
It's a
shit
Hollow
down.
Life for you guys.
Yeah,
It's
I
fine.
can make a couple of phone calls. I can make it happen.
But hey, now in all sincereness, though, we all intend maybe for the next year, if they return for it, to go there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, just because of how things were like this year, I will not mind taking the bullet and probably waiting in line there at like 7:00 in the morning, just so I could make sure we fucking get in before everybody else.
I mean, I'll go with you.
Yeah, okay, I'll appreciate that. Hey, we could play Pokemon for all we know. 'Cause
Yeah,
that'll be the
literally,
next
literally.
Pokemon game will come out by that point.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because you're gonna have Legends Arceus.
Exactly. Because January. But I mean,
Well, that'll be almost a year old. Yeah.
Yes. Evan, you missed Dane. Wait, what? Yeah, Dane's right here. Hey, say
Hi, I'm still here.
Yeah, he's
Hi.
still here.
Dane's going too. I'm just kidding. I don't know if Dane's
I don't
going.
know. Maybe we'll see.
Hey, listen, if Hollow
It's too
Life
far ahead,
comes
man.
back, I'll help pay for you to come. If
Yeah,
that's
we'll
the case.
put the donation bar up.
I will be glad to help.
PokePod
Actually,
panel. Yeah, we
Well,
could.
hold on. TS, if we have a year, we can go online for the Anime NYC and prepare a panel.
Yeah, prepare
It's
a panel.
possible.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
that's
do it.
true.
We can
Yeah.
do it. It's possible.
It is
Just ask
possible.
to
Yes.
cancel,
A
like,
pod
going
panel.
online or something.
And look,
No one
all the
likes
people
that.
are asking for it, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also could
All
ask
right.
our buddies that we know, like
Kidding.
Zach, to also join us for that too.
And
if
that
you'd
way
like.
KG can
John.
sell more of the merch at the panel.
Yeah, like I can
Yeah.
ask Zach, John,
Yeah.
Probably who else I can go and ask.
We need
around.
some Ruby plushies to sell. What do you think?
Yeah, and we need some Daydenes with the money on their eyes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens though. No answer just yet, chat. But
We
do
have
give us
1
time.
year, people. We have 1 year to make this happen. That's 1 year of prep time.
Yeah, so if I have to, I'll probably because panels I think do cost, so I do have to pay for
Yeah,
some
well,
of that.
yeah. What
Yeah.
they do is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, TSS. If you do set up everything for the panel and everything, they will pay your way in though.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you just
Because
have
you're
to
an
pay.
event. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
an event because you're an event
Yeah.
at the con. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get a special badge and stuff.
Yeah, so we're good. So yeah. We'll make sure it happens, guys. Don't worry. We've made the impossible possible before.
Yeah, I can get Sergi to make us a nice poster for NYC.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that would be pretty cool to have like that,
It's
so we could
all
like sign
coming
it.
together. Yeah. And if TSS can finagle the technology correctly, we could probably stream it for the people who can't come.
We'll see. Well,
Well,
alright
no,
for
no.
that part. You're talking
no,
about an area where the internet is shite.
Yeah. The problem is,
I
For the
said
folks that know,
finagle it. I didn't say
Javits has like no Wi-Fi.
right.
Like literally, their internet is slow as balls unless with the fucking multi-billion-dollar upgrade they fucking did something.
I mean,
and-
if not, then we can just go ahead and film it and then upload it.
Yeah, filming and uploading will be better because there's gonna be
let's do that.
also there's gonna be no cell phone data.
Okay, yeah, we'll just film it and then upload it later.
Yeah, 5G. The fuck is that?
The fuck is that?
So
So we can just film it and then upload it later. So then people who aren't there with us will get it. They'll just get it at a later time. That's all.
honestly, I'll be more than happy if I could just get Sergi to make the artwork for that too.
Yeah.
And we're gonna bust out. It's gonna be 9624 sample rate.
Fucking
gosh.
supersize that shit where we can't even fit it in our actual panel. If
Oh,
you guys
see,
need catering, I got you.
Oh my god.
I don't think we can do food, but that shit would be hilarious if we could somehow do it.
$20.
$20.
$20 for today, boy. Holy crap.
But it's got to be the Tyrone today, so it's got to be like
Yeah, it's gotta be
Yeah.
special. Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yes, I will
cards.
say all of my famous jokes and quotes and sign them
Oh
on
my
people's
fucking
shit.
god! I just thought it'd be hilarious if like every Dedenne plush has like a little clicker that you could click on the foot of the Dedenne and then it makes a noise. out of it.
$20.
Exactly.
$20. The money.
Wait, so
The
wait, do I have to
money.
record myself saying $20 on a voice box?
No, you
Yeah.
will because it's the Dedenne.
You.
And it's got to be special for each one, so each one's got to be different.
$20.
Oh, I got you, the Dedenne plush.
Yes.
Will you get the rare, the money, or will you get the very common?
CSS, I get one where I gotta whisper it.
$20.
It's free real estate.
Yeah, actually, that would be a great idea. Yeah, you're gonna have the one that's gonna have me saying it's free real estate. You know.
Yeah, be like, what the fuck? My Dedenne's affected.
That's-
$20.
It's not Tyrone. I want more money.
Jesus Christ.
Kuro says PokePod panel reveals the wiki page.
Oh, finally! I finally will be able to get my wiki! It took me fucking 5 years to see this.
It's longer than that, KG. Took
Well,
us
no,
like
the Pokepod
7
was created about like 5 years ago. Is when first.
Yeah, but we kicked this shit off like 7 to 8 years ago. So yeah, we needed a wiki a long time ago.
Hey, listen, man. The only thing I have in a wiki is that I'm dead. It's just that's the only thing I have. I'm just dead. I'm nowhere to be found at this point. Apparently, that's just my character now.
The only wiki I'm on is Terrell's wiki. Terrell has a wiki, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh, he
I know
does.
that. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
he's on a wiki.
Well, we'll see, chat. No, once again, no clear answers on what we're doing. It's still far into the
Yeah,
future.
we got a
Anything
year,
can go.
but
But
we
hey.
got a year to work with it. We love you guys, so I feel like we'll more than get satisfied with the results.
Knowing your luck with PokePod, we might get a preview for Jane Season 4 after such panel. Oh my god, I could finally talk about journeys on the big panel. No, we'll see. Once again, no clear answer. It's still super early. Do know though, we will be going to ANYC in some
Yeah,
way, shape,
we'll
and
definitely
form.
be going.
So even then, we'll still be around. So if you ever want to just hang out with us, just talk with us, chit chat and whatnot, you're more than happy to stop by for those. But we'll keep you guys noted in regards to what could potentially happen in the future at a later point. It's still relatively early. We're in the pre-planning phase. There's still so much that needs to be done, but there's so much potential that could come out of it. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. However, one last thing to note before we continue any further, just to reiterate and remind folks again, merch store is coming soon. ANYC for 2022 is planned. The PokePod entering its third year is now happening, of course, with this session 120 right now. And we hope you guys are going to look forward to some of the things we have planned for 2022 as well. Tyrone had an interesting art idea with something, and I thought we're going to try to see if we can pull that off by the beginning of 2022, at least just thematically for what we're going to be entering into for the next year. So we hope you guys will look forward to it. In the meantime, though, I hope you guys continue to support us in every way, shape, and form. You guys supporting us like this, watching us here in the PokePod World Podcast every weeknight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday specifically. Is always the best thing you can possibly do. Just continue to support us every single week, and we love all of you guys so much for even having the possibility of even thinking about these things is mainly because of you guys. So, yeah, much love for that. So, we'll talk more about this at a later point, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it. So, what do you guys say then? We go and take an opportunity real quick to, before getting into the episode, talk about another anime. Because I think it's only respectful to talk about this anime, given that it had just recently completed its 1000th episode. And I have it in the title of the thing as well, so I wanted to give my
Fireboard. Okay.
praise. But let's give some praise and some respect to One Piece for finally reaching 1000 episodes in the latest episode of their show, having a absolute nostalgia fest for that episode. Filled to the brim with references from the original first few episodes of the series in general, with recreating the first opening with now the modern characters in their new updated designs based off the Wano design. And we are the original version, not a remix or anything, the original song, straight up used for the 1000th episode. It is absolutely an incredible episode. I really do believe that reunion that we got to see with the cast for this one moment, I think, was handled very, very well and deserves absolute credit. So, yeah, I really had a fun time watching that episode. I had a fun time celebrating just the road to the 1000 episode. I feel like the things that they did for this one was absolutely incredible. You could feel the motivation and fan outpouring going for this. In fact, somebody filmed the 1000 episode from like a part of a region where there was just a huge ass crowd, and when the opening played, you just heard like the entire theater just singing the Japanese song of "We Are," and it's just so remarkable, bro. It really is something just memorable because fans grew up with this. It's been 20 years this anime has been there. This year has been a year of celebration. I mean, like, for just so many things that have happened, and this is just another one to add to that bucket list, man, of having One Piece celebrate 1000 episodes, and now who knows how many more we got potentially for this series. So much respect to Oda, the GOAT, honestly, for manga in general, and curious to see if we're gonna see another 1000 episodes by the end of this next 20 years or so. So yeah, that's all I can really say at this current time. But not much more other than I'm very much excited to see what the future of One Piece has in store. But now that I kind of got that out of the way, I thought now would be the appropriate time to go and talk about something else instead. Something still related to pirates in a way. So, I mean, it's still kind of fitting. We're moving from one pirate talk to another pirate talk. So what do you guys say? We get ourselves ready to go and talk a little bit about this episode that we got ourselves into, as well as another important note. I believe that there will not be an episode this upcoming week, correct?
That's correct. That is
And
correct.
well, actually, I don't necessarily know the reason as to why that's the case. Do you know, TSS? Maybe you might know about this.
It's just taking another break.
Oh, it's just there's no big event or something that's taking its
No,
time.
no, it is not.
Oh, that's interesting. Then it really is kind of concerning.
It's production. Well, like I said, it's the production.
Yeah, I recall. I recall. What was it? I'm gonna say again. I recall another anime, 86. I think it was what it was called. That was also in a bunch of production issues that they had to delay like every week or so. So I'm not surprised per se. It just kind of sucks that it has to happen, you know. But production issues are a thing, especially during the pandemic. We have to respect that and understand that, you know. So keep that in mind, ladies and gents, when we're doing these reviews and whatnot for the show. We live
Yep.
in this timeline.
Yeah.
We just got to get adjusted to it. No real way to say that other than, yeah, just the reality we live in. But what do you guys say then? Should we go and talk about this week's episode?
Let's
I
go.
actually have not seen it yet. I keep forgetting to watch it. I was meant to watch it today, but I know about it. I know a lot what happened. So you guys can go ahead. I'll just be here.
I mean, you can still contribute a little bit if you want to just talk about maybe something you might be familiar with or whatnot. Well, we'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about it then.
yeah.
All right, then. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure I got this thing open up. All right, perfect. Otherwise, I'm going to have a hard time talking about this episode. So let's get to it. Ladies and gents, let's talk about the latest episode of PM 2019 titled The Trial Mission, The Deep Sea Diver Research Team. So, what exactly is this episode about? Well, let's find out. Go has received a trial mission from Project Mew. This one reads, Get a Wild Kingdra. After consulting eyewitness reports of wild Seadra, he heads to the Hoenn region with Satoshi. The two immediately start researching the sea when they encounter Genji from the Hoenn region's Elite Four, who they decide to work with. Can Go clear this mission without any trouble arising? Well, let's get into this discussion, why don't we? So, how was this episode overall? Did this episode satisfy those who were major AG fans? Were AG fans one of the lucky to actually get what they asked for? Or unfortunately, are they going to have to be joining X and Y in terms of getting very dissatisfying results? Let's discuss then. So, let's see how this episode turned out. First of all, the interaction with Genji. I will say one of my very odd good points for this episode that I thought I enjoyed was both Satoshi and Genji not remembering their names properly. But it makes sense because of just how long it has been since they've actually met each other. I mean, like, off the top of my head, I think Genji is just one of those one-off characters that only appeared for one episode, and that was really it, if I recall correctly.
AG 102, which means it would have aired. Actually, it would be 16 years ago this month.
Yeah. A quick question, though. Was Chuck...
Sorry, 17 because it was 2004.
Yeah. Similar to what they did with Chuck. You are correct there, buddy. Chuck was another character who didn't remember Satoshi at first until getting just a little bit of extra time to finally remember, oh, I know you. So that was what they did here in this episode. And it was nice to see these two interact again and just kind of like brush that off real quick. But I did like the fact that neither of them remembered each other's name properly. So I think it was like, what was it?
think that one is just a very old man and the other's just, Drake.
Yeah. I was going to say, I like that he called Satoshi, I think it's Sabashi or something like that. Sabashi. Yeah, and Gonji for Satoshi's side. I really just like that dynamic right there. Such a little small moment, but really overall very pleasing. So let's talk about
That's going to translate in the dub.
Yeah, I don't know how they intend, because Ash is just Ash.
Yeah.
How do you translate Ash?
I mean, both of them, to be fair, are like fish puns. So
yeah, so
like Saba.
Or let's see, maybe it'll be.
My name is Tom Ado. Bring that gym back.
Now, another thing I'm trying to think off the top of my head. What could they do for that? Whatever. No, not really the major focus. But let's get into the Go aspect because this is the big thing. Go is having a Project Mew event happen in this one. And how did it turn out? Honestly, I must say, first of all, I liked Go's creativity in this episode. I think there are certain moments in this episode that I really enjoyed from Go's aspect, which is something we need to see more often. First of all, him using a recording of the Dragonite battle from a couple of episodes ago to
And we
use it.
didn't see him record
I have no idea where that came from. No,
because he didn't fucking record it.
I'm just assuming that came from the Rotom decks. Not the Rotom
That we
decks.
didn't see.
Phone.
No, not the Rotom decks. I'm sorry, the Rotom. The
phone.
no.
Oh, the battle
The
referee.
battle.
No,
Rotom.
yeah,
Because somebody has to
yeah.
film that shit. So I'm
Yes.
assuming that's where that recording.
So he
was
got it
from.
off YouTube, essentially.
Pretty much is what I'm assuming. At least if that's being implied.
Rotom
But
drone. Yeah, the Rotom drone.
yeah, so the Rotom drone. I'm assuming that's where the footage came from, and then use that as a way to lure the Kingdra was actually really fucking smart. I enjoyed that part of Go's character. That's really good. It's using it as a tie-in to not only Project Mew, but also as a way to tie in the Pokemon World Championships in a unique way where it doesn't necessarily like clash with one another, but benefits one and the other.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that right there. Also, Inteleon is really becoming one of my faves. I really didn't enjoy him much at first, but Inteleon just the way they handled him in this episode alongside some of the other water Pokemon that were used in that fight, I thought was handled beautifully. Especially, let's talk about that fucking snipe shot attack though. Holy
Yes.
shit! Like I understand that Tyrone will probably bring this up on his end, and that's why I'm not going to bring it up here. But there is a sequence that we see with the snipe shot and the Pokeball. I like that aspect of it because Go had to go through a moment where he threw the Pokeball, and of course, being underwater, you can't necessarily throw it like as is. So Go had to come to the conclusion of like saying, "Hey, what if we shoot this thing towards the Pokemon?" To which Go successfully did alongside with Inteleon. It not only was a really badass moment, it also gave Inteleon a really badass moment, which is good to see. Because first of all, I need to see some of those representations for the starter Pokemon, especially from Cinderace and Inteleon. And Inteleon really did shine incredibly in this episode. Another thing to also talk about as well, I enjoyed the Seadra. I understand there was something that happened that I was not very big fan of in regards to like they felt like they had something set up for that Seadra and then they just sort of brushed it off at the end of the episode. But I still liked how cute it was throughout this episode as a whole. Well, I hope you'll save that
Yes.
for your review on your side, TSS. But just
Yes.
from my perspective, at least,
Yes.
I just found it to just simply be a cute character. It had a cute ending, but I feel like there was something that was kind of lacking on that part. At least just from what I can think off the top of my head, anyway. So, also one other thing I also enjoyed. I think Inteleon also learned a brand new move in this episode as well. I think
Yes.
it was Liquidation.
Liquidation.
Which
Liquidation.
I do find both as a pro and a con. Pro because it makes the scene in the battle look more great. And now let's start getting into the cons for a little bit. I liked what I saw, but it also would have been more beneficial to have seen that liquidation move be learned on screen because we never get to see Ghost Pokemon much. So it would have been nice to have seen how this Pokemon got to that point to learn this said move, especially given how kind of coincidental it was used during this sequence of events. I thought just, having it like learn it before we get into this episode would have been great because Go just commands it to use it. So that means it's been implied that they've
I
done
think
some
that's-
training.
I think that's just an issue with Go in general. He has way too many Pokemon, so it's like I guess they have to focus on like a specific amount of like, I guess like 2 or 3 of
Yeah.
them. Well, how many are they? I haven't watched some of Journey, so how many are they actually focusing on? Is it just Inteleon right now?
It's mainly
It's
the large
usually the
starters.
starters. Yeah, it's usually the starters.
But
Okay.
the other ones, if I would like to mention, would be Dugong,
Sometimes.
Flygon has been used
Sometimes.
frequently. Yeah. Another one off the top of my head. Actually, no, I think it's
Maybe Scizor if they're feeling it.
yeah, maybe Caesar because Caesar also had
If
some.
they're feeling
Scyther to Caesar. You mean? Because that happened
Yeah.
from what I remember, and then they actually used Caesar in the Project Mew episode.
They didn't
Raichu
use his
for-
fossil
Rai-
Pokemon like once or something too.
Yeah, Raichu
Oh, he
for
did
cute
use
effect.
the fossil Pokemon, but not in this episode.
Yeah.
In the one
No,
prior.
no.
Yeah, usually Raichu for cute effect.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
The berry bits. I mean, it is cute. I will give it that. But yeah, so minor moments.
Currently has 102 Pokemon registered, by the way.
Does he
Oh
really?
my gosh! No
Yeah.
way.
Wow. Didn't
He
even
does.
pay
Wow.
attention
He
to that.
caught. He has 95 owned, but 102 because evolutions. And shit.
Evolutions. Yeah, yeah. But
900 something to go.
yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in Liquidation, I liked it. I just wished we had seen it on screen, like most other things. Really. The battle between Inteleon and Kingdra, I liked it, but I did feel it was a little too short. They really had very little time left, and they had to kind of rush to that moment. I would have preferred just seeing a little bit more. In fact, you know what they could have done to have added more time? Not really showing off what the hell the other Project Me members were doing, in all honesty. Because they had like a Reggie Rock scene, I think, in this episode. But that shit just felt so kind of there. It didn't really feel like it added much to what the hell we were seeing from this side of Go and Ash, you know? We could have saved that for like another episode, or it could have just been like implied, oh, these other Project Mu members were focusing on the Reggies, and we could have just kind of left it at that. So I would have preferred had that just been for another episode or whatnot. Dracovish also coming back, Mr. Fish. Everyone loves Mr. Fish. Who doesn't love Mr. Fish? He only appeared for like a couple of seconds. But at the same time, he wasn't the main focus, so not really going to hate on it that much. It's still nice to still see the Mr. Fish come back. Overall, as an episode, I enjoyed it. The ending was kind of also there. I mean, it just ends with them just sailing away in a sunset, and that's just how the episode wraps up. It kind of did feel weird. I'm not a big fan of those kind of episodes when like the companions and recurring characters just sort of end in like a sunset, because I just want to see like how do their interactions end. How does Satoshi go back? What does Genji say to Satoshi, and what does Satoshi say to him? However, this is the weirdest part to me. If you were thinking about continuity in this particular episode, you don't necessarily get it as much as you would think. In fact, the only place you're getting continuity acknowledgement is in that little mini comic that the AnniePoke Twitter account posted of Satoshi reminiscing of the Altaria and the Shelgon from back in his journeys in Hoenn. That is the only acknowledgement to any of the events that have happened before in AG. And it wasn't in this episode. It was in that little comic that Moja Cookie, I think was the name of the user, created. So that's the only place you're going to see it. And you could tell that it is a flashback as well, because it's showing Altaria, who wasn't present in this particular episode. It was only the Shelgon. Yeah. Also, one last cute thing I just want to mention. Shelgon was cute as fuck in this episode. I don't know how the fuck the most intimidating looking thing was actually so cute, but it wasn't until they had that like chibi sequence where they were just like having like this 2-frame walk cycle. I loved it so much. It was so fucking adorable. And also Shogun's just fucking huge too. But I really loved the Shogun in this episode. Overall, in my opinion, as an AG fan, not a stan, just a fan, did I enjoy what they tried to do with this episode? I think from a Project Mu episode, I did find it okay. I did like aspects of it. Ghost character, I think, was also great too. Certain hits and misses here, but for the most part, still relatively enjoyable. But if you are an AG fan hoping to see more of continuity and things from those moments, other than just, say, the character returning and even the VA returning, which is another thing to acknowledge as well, because it is the original VA coming back for this one, you don't really get as much outside of just that bit right there. So overall, it was, to me, an okay episode. If I had to give it a score, I'd say probably like a solid 7. I do think that's the best I can say for it. I did enjoy a lot of it, but I also do see certain things that I could feel was kind of hit and miss. But that's just my perspective as a whole. That's just how I feel. Still very enjoyable. And I hope that maybe in the future we get to see more Drake, because I feel like there's something that they could do with Drake. But hey, that's just wishful thinking at that point. And that's not necessarily the episode that we're talking about at that moment. So that's going to be my take on it. And I guess I shall now pass it on to whoever wishes to go next, whether it be TSS or whether it be Tyrone. Which out of the two of you would like to go next, guys?
I'll go.
Alrighty, Tyrone will go next. And then last but not least, TSS, you'll then go.
All right, so I want to point out one thing before we even start. Drake returning. Weirdly, and yes, you're gonna hear this from me, the person who likes mostly the battle heavy series, which is XY. I'm glad Ash didn't battle Drake. Not every episode of a reoccurring character needs to be them duking it out.
Mm.
Like that's fine. I don't even care about that. I mean, Drake's a person. He's a treasure hunter first, and pretty much an Elite Four as like his second thing. So it's fine. I don't need them to straight up have a battle. Usually my stance on bringing a character back is if they're doing something that has a relevance to the plot, or to the very least can enhance the plot in some way, shape, or form, whether it be relative to the overarching plot or the current plot that's happening in that episode. AKA, if we're talking short term, then they run into a character like Duplica, who ends up having Mini Dit, which is a Ditto that can essentially turn into a smaller version of the Pokemon that it copies, and it copies Wobbuffet, and we learn from that battle that they have with Team Rocket that Wobbuffet has 2 moves, not just counter. Jesse just sucks at using Wobbuffet. So we learn stuff like that. Long term would be, I don't know, freaking, I gotta think of one off the top of my head. I guess long term for a character coming back would be May coming back. There's a reason for her coming back. The Wallace Cup is a tournament that's open to all coordinators of all different regions, and the ribbon is good for literally every region, and thus competing in it will benefit anyone. Hence the reason May shows up. She just happens to run into Dawn again, who's also traveling with Ash. So it's a relevant long-term series return. Now, with that out the way though, Drake obviously is the plot focus of this episode because they're treasure hunting and they find a treasure hunter. That makes sense. It's fine. I don't have a problem with him coming back because it's a short-term one and it's not anything that's gonna ruin the plot. And I'm glad that they don't have to battle it out so that Ash can show off his champion style cock in front of an Elite Four member. That's fine. But like my issue, if we ever had an issue with Drake, is that like the episode feels so short. I almost felt like he could have been interchanged with literally anybody else. like literally you could have put anyone else in his situation. Some random pirate that just happened to be at sea notices that Ash and Go are trying to catch Kingdra and he helps. Anything. Hell, Coral Blitz even said it. Mr. Briny, which actually would have been a pretty cool, that would actually have been pretty cool actually. Just Mr. Briny, just freaking from the Hoenn region. That would have been, I would have liked that. But regardless, the game, they decided because Drake is a noticeable Elite Four member, that's an exceptional trainer, they decided to bring him. And obviously the mission is to catch Kingdra. Now, KG said I would point this out. I do not like the fact that the Seadra that Go was befriending is not the Kingdra that would have been ultimately caught. Now, is this a cliche for him to catch the very Seadra instead of the Kingdra that was supposed to be caught? Absolutely. But this is the one situation where a cliche actually helps the plot, because when you're dealing with someone like Go, who's essentially catching every mon that he can think of, it would help a little bit as if they have a moment that you can share with that mon to at least go, yeah, I remember that mon. It was the one during this moment. It was the one that showed off this character trait, this cliche, something. Something to give us at least a nice little net of familiarity so that we can accept it into Go's team. Here, they don't do that. Seadra winds up getting a dragon scale, hinting at its evolution, but Go never catches that one. He catches a completely rando Kingdra that we suddenly believe we have to care about because it's the final boss to the fight. But I don't care about it. That's the problem. I care about it just as much as that Sharpedo that he randomly caught. That everyone, even KG and I in the reaction, forgot he caught. Because it's the way he caught it was literally he stuck his hand out and caught it. And this was following up on the joke where Go can't throw Pokeballs to capture Pokemon. So you kind of mess with the joke there when you literally right before you think of a creative way to catch a Mon, you find this bullshit way to catch a Mon that doesn't require you to throw the ball. So now you run into these conflicts where, yes, the thing that we saw was visually impressive, snipe-shotting the Pokeball in order to catch Kingdra. Pretty damn cool. The problem is, it was followed up by a joke that was already used, and then another joke that's haphazardly used to defeat the joke from before. Why even go through the trouble of throwing the Pokeball when you can just reach your hand out and catch it? Never mind the fact that the series has shown people throwing Pokeballs underwater before, making this joke ultimately useless. And it just shows us nothing more than to show, hey, Go can't competently catch Pokemon underwater unless he uses Inteleon as a snipe aid. But look what we had to do in order to get here. Like, we had to go through such a mess in order to get to this point. And part of me is thinking, there's plenty of other ways. But we gotta show off Inteleon because it's the Watermon right now. Even though we could have Dugong swack it with his tail, Mantike shoot it with water gun. We have all other options. The show's just ignoring them for the sake of making Inteleon look cool. And speaking of Inteleon looking cool, we've got Liquidation, the move that was learned off screen. Now, obviously, Dean said it before, Go has a lot of mons. So there's no way they're going to be able to tackle literally everything. But these are his starters, the ones that literally have most of the focus when it comes to the on-hand team that Go usually carries around with them. So it'd be a little important if we at least had some contextual features as to where they learn their moves. Now, I'm going to defend weirdly some of this. My brain tells me, but I had to make this the fuck up, my brain tells me that Go saw Graplock use Liquidation and thought, maybe I can teach that to Inteleon. But I had to do that myself, which means we run into another situation where the community is better at writing than the writers. And that's bad. So then we move on, obviously, and like once Go ends up catching freaking Kingdra, the episode pretty much just ends. Literally, the episode's like, alright, I ain't got any more time for y'all, it's over. Like, it just sort of ends. They try to give it an extra conflict where the ship itself is about to, like, uprise or whatever, and it's resolved by just doing the thing it was gonna do. Yet Cedra's in there. I guess it's to imply that Cedra's gonna evolve into Kingdra and be the new final boss, I guess, down there. But I don't care enough anymore. It just ends. It just says, we done. Show's over. And it's just over. Like, there's not enough in the episode for me to physically care. And even when you run into the situation, if he had caught because I know TSS, you may tackle on this, but the rule was that he was supposed to catch a Kingdra. So it would have been unfair if he evolved a Seadra and turned it into it. But I've always felt that in this situation, this works only because from the moment we've seen Go do Mew missions, all 2 of them, he's shown that he approaches catching a lot differently than the required utilitarian methods of the people that are actually doing the Mew missions. Catch first, ask questions later. Go has been around Ash long enough to know, wait a minute. There's Pokemon that have a deeper meaning as to why they do things, and thus catching them emotionally works a lot better than just chucking a Pokeball at them sometimes. Because we need to find out the ultimate reason as to why they're doing what they're doing, or the overall threat that they could be, or if somebody's attacking them, aka the battle with Ninetales. The guy could have beat the crap out of Ninetales, but Go tells him not to because he knows there's a reason Ninetales is attacking everybody. So he chooses the passive method and ends up catching him the nice way. Which is a complete contrast to, like I said, the utilitarian methods that most of the people who do the Mew missions do, where they just end up catching the mons without any reference. They're almost like a cold-hearted, like, soldiers that catch them because they have to, as opposed to Go, who's thinking emotionally rather than physically. And thus, growing a friendship with Seadra and ultimately evolving it into Kingdra to be used against another Kingdra would have been a lot more acceptable. That and Kingdra can also learn Snipe Shot, I believe, so that would have been kind of cool too. So, yeah, this is the one situation where I believe, no matter how many ways you slice it, the Seadra with the dragon tail would have been a lot better of a payoff than this cold Kingdra that I don't give a crap about that showed up in, like, the last 5 minutes of the episode. So, with that being said, Drake shows up, and that's kinda cool. But the episode itself just feels like a check marker. Like, it did everything it needed to do, and we didn't really carry anything out of it. So overall, it just felt like we were going through the motions. And for that, I gotta give it a 5. I'm sorry. Like, that's what it gets to me.
Alrighty. Then now we pass this one on to you, TSS. Take it away, buddy. What do you think about this week's episode?
I enjoyed this better than the last Mew mission because the the setup was actually pretty good. First of all, they didn't waste any time in getting the episode going. They actually went and they did a quick summarization of what Project Mu is all about, and they did it in pretty good and in a pretty well fashion, because it's basically like, well, you're catching people up to speed on what has been done, and it's been done within like a period of about 45 seconds. So actually, I appreciate that. So. Let's get to the start of the episode. So they find
Before
the
you
mission.
continue, though, I apologize.
Go ahead.
Thank you so
Ooh,
much
we got
for the
bits.
donates of the 100 bitty bits there, Submissionary.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
Thank you. All right. So now continuing on. So we're gonna start at the beginning. So for this episode, so we get so the mission is obviously they have to catch this Kingdra in the Hoenn region. So okay, so they go out to the Hoenn region. So first of all, we have a conflict here of Go and Satoshi trying to dive into the water, but the problem is they don't have the equipment to stay under the water and try to find this Kingdra. So what ends up happening is they encounter a few Pokemon. Go has the sequence where he tries to catch a Feebas, would fucking fail. I'm sorry, the G-Lanth or whatever the fuck it is. I forgot the English name at this
Orbis
point.
and
Relicanth.
Oh, and Relicanth too. Yeah.
Yes. So they have that. So you have that sequence. So they come back to the surface. But before they come back to the surface, Go finds this little like dirty object. So it becomes a fact later. So then they come back to the surface, and then all of a sudden they find Drake or Genji. I did appreciate the interaction between them and the kind of the name thing and the puns associated with that. But there was another thing that I noticed that, and by the way, there was at least 5 or 6 new Hayashi tracks, which really sounded good. So the first one that actually caught my ear was that the track that was officially released, which is Ijipari, or the disagreement. If you notice, Masafumi Mima actually adds a couple of beats before the main song proper. I thought that was a really cool touch, that you actually have a little bit of the drum lead up into where the track starts. And that once again proves that Masafumi Mima actually probably has access to the multi-tracks. So I really appreciated that part. To see Genji in his form of going into and have Satoshi and Go help him with the treasure hunting thing, that was pretty cool as well. But when he showed that little piece, it was like, oh, it's part of a vase that I found on the beach. And then okay, then there is this treasure in this sunken ship. So that's why that was the whole focus of that episode. So I kind of found it cool. Also, I found it great, the whole thing. I know I could probably make an AMV of freaking Satoshi on the fucking intercom of the ship. That was a pretty cool little thing as well. But also having Chinchou and Lucario actually using the aura and the kind of like the radar to kind of help Genji out. That was pretty cool as well. But also just to have Genji, like Drake here, like really interacting with Satoshi, because I feel that in AG102 there really wasn't that much like interaction in between. I mean, you only had the battle and a very, very minute interaction in comparison to that. So to have Genji or Drake open up and see like what he really does besides being the Elite Four, I thought that was I think that was well handled. So then there's another piece of music. So then the following day they go down to the sunken ship. Okay. So then this is where the Seadra comes in. And realistically, it's kind of like, it was kind of like an accident that they find they found like the dragon scale in the chest, and then the Seadra comes around and then Go gives it to him. But also to have, like I said, to come along and to catch it, that was pretty cool, because he actually just has a Pokeball in his hands, just like freaking holds it up, and it gets caught. So then Go makes the realization, oh, this is how I gotta catch a Pokemon underwater. So the Seadra does have a lot of relevance, because I know that Tyrone said that there was no relevance at all, but it does, because it's symbolic. And the way it's symbolic is going to be like this. So Go shows the Seadra where, asking where the Kingdra is. And then then another great new Hayashi track plays. It kind of reminds me of kind of like a deep house track by anybody who knows the deep house trance artist Marsh. It kind of sounds like a Marsh track. I really enjoyed that sequence where they were following the Seadra down further, and then they realize, the air tube doesn't go far enough, so Go disconnects it and then just use the portable tube, and then tries to go after the Seadra. I really liked the way that they build up the tension in that case. And then we get to the ultimate fight where you have Go bringing out the Mantike to freeze the Seadra, freeze the Kingdra rather, to try to catch it. And then when we see Inteleon come out and use Liquidation, and then uses the snipe shot to throw the Pokeball, like I said, that was a really great cohesive moment. That it really shows that Go is finally he is a good battler, and it really looks like he's going to be a formidable force, especially in the later parts of the Project Mew. But the Seadra going with the ship is symbolic because that Seadra is now going to take the Kingdra that he just caught's place. So that means it's symbolic because now that Seadra is going to become the Kingdra, and then protect that area.
I want to point that out. I said that in mine.
I understand that. But I understand that you said it in yours, but I wanted to expand on it because I wanted to present it as a cohesive thing, because I know a lot of folks that they kind of skip on the details. So I just want to mention that as well. And plus remember, I'm looking at it through the eyes of like analysis, right? So then comes the fact that Go and Satoshi's air is running out, and then they have the Kingdra come out and they all go to the surface. And realistically, like I said, from a cohesive standpoint, the flow of this episode, I know some people saying, it's a 3-minute episode, took 22 minutes. I disagree. I thought each part of that episode really was cohesive and really flowed naturally together. And like I said, there's probably like 6 or 7 new tracks from Hayashi here. And also, in that Mantike scene, by the way, they know that Go and Satoshi's voices are like muted a little bit because of the gear. So Masafumi Mima actually mutes the audio, mutes the music a little bit, and really drives out the emotional feeling of that scene. So because normally if we go back a couple of series ago, as I mentioned before, the music would probably be like full blast, and then the sound gets lost, the dialogue gets lost, but here it was like perfectly mixed. So I really think that particular sequence, they really drove home the audio mix. So again, that like I said, the story in itself is really it's a really cohesive story that I can really get into, and I really enjoyed it, and that's why I enjoyed this better than the other one. So anyway, so they get back up to the ship. So Genji or Drake, reaffirms the goals, because of course, you have to, kind of has to get the understanding, because they probably wanted to show it on screen. Okay, this is the continuity and stuff like that. And some people don't like that, but I like it, because this means that people can put together, like if you were to, like, let's say, make a list of like just watching all the Project Mew episodes in a row in the future, because this is episodic, it flows. So you could start from the first Project Mew stuff with like Shigeru Agari, and then move up to here and just watch those episodes, and it'll be one cohesive. So I like that they changed the writing to do that, especially so now they have a cohesive way to present this Project Mew arc, instead of like freaking trying to do mini arcs in the middle and try to get making it look like a mess. So I really appreciate that they made like reaffirmations of the goals and also the way that they presented. They reintroduced Project Mew. The stuff at the end that was fine too because then it shows that Renji and I keep saying it's Asuna. It's not. But anyway, so the ending there with Regirock is just another like lead into the next Project Mew episode, which we're probably not going to get for a while. But cohesively, Asahi, I know. You want to know why I have Asuna on the brain? It's because some stupid, I think VTuber clip or something came up. But anyway, but in any case, it's fucking 12 o'clock. You try to do this when it's fucking 12 o'clock and you fucking been staying up all this fucking time. Okay, but anyway, so overall as an episode, I enjoyed this better than the previous Project Mew one with the Volcarona. So in that case, I think this episode did do Genji or Drake justice, considering that we really didn't get his backstory on the original AG episode. So I'm going to give this one a 9.1.
Alrighty then. Well, there you go, ladies and gents. Those are our respective opinions on what we thought of this episode as a whole. A 5, a 7, and a 9.1. We hope you guys enjoyed that aspect of our reviews, ladies and gents. So, what do we got left to talk about? Well, we got Pokemon the Special happening really soon with the Brilliant Special.
Yeah.
And, there is really not much that can be said per se, except there is one scene in particular that kind of caught my eye. Mm-hmm. And it's a very dumb scene when looking at it, but it is something that I thought would be worth noting. For some reason, when they're at Dawn's house, I think that's supposed to be Dawn's house, right? When they had that
alternate universe Dawn's, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Apparently, there looks to be like a champion trophy or some sort there.
Oh boy.
And I'm like thinking to myself, that trophy, for some reason I thought that trophy would have, been shown to our Dawn. Why are we learning this from the other Dawn's perspective? Also, hi there, Kay. How you doing, buddy? It's just so funny to me.
There's another thing I want to mention as well, because of course there's people that don't watch the original broadcast. Mm-hmm. But on the sponsor plug at the end, I'll read the text that's being written out. So once again, my pitch accent sucks, so I'll do my best here. So it says, Pokemon ga subete nakunatta sekai, or a world without Pokemon. A world without Pokemon ? Right? And the next one says, Densetsu no Pokemon, Dialga to Palkia ga boso, or the legendary Pokemon Dialga and Palkia are running wild. So it's like, what you gonna do when Dialga and Palkia run wild on you? Like that. So this alternate universe thing is gonna be an alternate universe without Pokemon. And that's a interesting take that I can't wait for.
Yeah, I can see why it'd be interesting. Just overall something we just have to wait and find out. Unfortunately, we can't see it this week. So what's happening? Nope. Turns out, as we stated before earlier in the discussion, that the series will be taking a break this week and we'll be returning the following week, which then we'll be able to watch part 1 of the 2-part Diamond and Pearl Winter Special. So, yeah, just keep that in mind, ladies and gents. You're not going to see the whole entire thing in one episode, unfortunately. It's going to be split into 2 parts. So, part 2 will be the second act of this. Dawn's returning, Cynthia's returning, Team Rocket's returning, which is kind of weird.
They exist.
And you know what's going to be airing on TV Tokyo in its place?
What?
The 2021 World Table Tennis Championships from Houston.
Oh, that's great to know that Pokemon's being replaced by table tennis.
Yeah, but Paw Patrol is still running.
We gotta review that next week, guys. Get ready.
Exactly. We got an exciting.
We gotta do a live reaction.
Live reaction. There you go.
Table tennis, Paw Patrol, which they still consider an anime.
Is that legible here on Twitch.tv? Is the real question to commentate on a sports show like that. But yeah, so ladies and gents, that does imply that we'll not have a reaction for this week. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to talk a little bit about exactly what it is that we have in plan for, this week here on the channel. Let's begin with the basics real quick. So what is happening for tomorrow? Well, tomorrow is another session of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I'd like to believe. If that is correct, Aaron?
Yes, that's correct.
In fact,
Have
I don't
we,
really think we're going to, or at least I'm not going to do anything for like the 2 hour before we get into the other 2 hour. I think it's just going to be 4 hours.
It's just gonna, we're just doing 4 hours of Brilliant Diamond, Shiny Pearl.
Honestly, I prefer
Yeah,
that.
I
'Cause
might
should
even
really
push
have
it. I
fun
might
with
even
that.
push it further.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably like end mine at 12. and
Because
you'll
I know
probably-
you in earlier, but I might push it one more hour because I think I'm behind you by a little bit anyway.
Yeah,
Are you
can
guys
take the heads-
trying to keep up with each other or something?
Pretty
Yeah.
much, but KG is like millions of fucking leagues ahead of me.
In other words, I'm
Oh.
just one route ahead.
Have you guys thought about maybe get to the same point and then maybe battling each other or something like that?
We'll see.
More with the
I thought about
underground,
that. That actually sounds
stuff.
kind of cool, like a
Yeah, I
live
thought maybe-
rival, like a live rival battle.
We both
Huh?
have teams, don't we?
That actually
What about
sounds- well, my
contests?
team is.
Where you guys remember,
Yeah,
you
I've
guys
seen
could
people
do
do
it.
that. So
Remember, you guys could do online contests too. So.
Oh yeah, we can do that too.
yes.
So we can have
Yeah,
the
that
squad.
actually sounds. Yeah, we can actually sounds pretty cool. My team isn't complete yet. I still only have 5 mons instead of 6.
Yeah, I already have my team of 6, so it's
I
gonna
want to be very particular about. who my
I have
team of
6,
is.
but one's got to go.
Oh no.
Pincer is probably not going to be on my final.
Damn.
I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have his mega, so yeah.
Well, also,
I'm sorry, Pincer. You do not get
yeah.
a rose tonight.
Unfortunately, though, as my brother pointed out, my whole team is fucking gonna be curb stomped by fucking ground Pokemon, which means I'm gonna be fucked at Cynthia if I don't fucking get something.
Or Bertha.
Or Bertha, yeah.
Big birthday, yeah.
Big Bertha, yeah.
Have we talked about how far we are in the games yet? Have we done any of that?
I have. I have. I'm at
have
Snow
you?
Point,
Okay.
just about to get to the 7th gym.
I just beat. I
By
beat
the way-
I beat the Gardenia.
I want to comment
Oh, I
one
did
thing.
too.
I want to comment one thing about the routes towards what is it, Lake Verity? The other one, Lake Val. What was it? What was the one near Snow Point?
Lake
like
Acuity.
Lake Acuity. I love the way that they made that route look. I love the way that it looks visually.
I
and
heard the
also
water
getting
in that
stuck-
game. The water in the game looks great.
It
Yeah,
does.
but also but also the snow atmosphere, and also trudging through the deep snow that is about as tall as you. The effect for that looks really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It looks really good.
The Flower City. I think it's right before.
Aroma Town.
Yeah. There's a flower field that's like right above the town, and oh my gosh, on my
Where you get the honey.
70-inch TV, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. I was like you can see the effects on the screen. At least on mine, I can see like little rose petals like going across the screen, or it was like, oh my god, this is. This is something
And
else.
KG posted something similar to this, and I posted a joke about it. Do not shiny hunt in the beginning route right before Sand Gem Town.
yeah.
I mean, before Orberg.
So it was recently discovered that somebody was doing the Poke Radar. That doesn't also apply to whoever is standing on top of it. So you can have that lady that gives you the potion literally stand on top of where the shiny Pokemon would be.
Oh
And
no.
since she doesn't move, that
Gee,
shiny
lady,
Pokemon
thanks
is
for the. Geez, lady, thanks for the 10 potions. How much? It's not gonna cost yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, did it cost very dearly in the long
Wait a minute,
term.
why can't I get the shiny Pokemon? You already have the potion.
Also, apparently, the league doesn't do the badge check, so literally you can speedrun the game
That's fucked.
What?
any percent.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's actually a glitch that you can surpass the NPC that like blocks you from going to Sunny Shore because of supposedly a blackout, which is kind of bringing me some X and Y flashbacks now thinking about it.
Boy.
But you can glitch through him if you time your position right and the egg catching right. You can have the egg hatch as he's about to say something, but when you return from the egg hatch scene, the text doesn't
You'll be on
show
the other
up. So you
side,
could just brush to the other side. In fact, I'm going to try to see if I could do that in the next
I
session.
want to point something out, by the way. Like, I know we praise like the water and the flowers and shit. I do want to point something out that I find very interesting. So we ran into quite a bit of glitches. Even when KG told me to go through the trees and I was riding my bike through the black voice singing To Know the Unknown, by the way. So I want to point out all these glitches happen and people are still enjoying the game. They're still enjoying the game. They're still saying Pokemon is great. But heaven for fucking bid, Sword and Shield has a weird looking tree. And took away a couple of mods. What exactly is happening to the community? Really? like what actually is going on?
You're asking for too much, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm saying no. I'm saying look how far we've come from fucked up tree and I'm not buying it and boycott Sword and Shield to glitches up the wazoo. I love Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. What
That boycott did nothing because
actually
it's look how
happening?
much it freaking sold.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
look, what is
It's the best-selling
actually
game.
happening
Best-selling
here?
It is, yeah.
Pokemon game.
So I don't know. I always find that funny to me how one thing can be wrong with a tree in Sword and Shield, but heaven for fucking bid, I can ride through the voids of the trees and the programming of the game that wasn't meant to have it and have my grotto glitch through people while I'm walking. And the game still sells perfectly fine. What really is the issue here?
Hashtag faithful remakes.
It's not even a faithful remake. That's the funny
I don't
part.
know.
Well, technically, it has some of the same glitches.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
faithful to
I've
the
heard
glitch.
about that.
To the glitches.
Also, I heard that you need to turn your autosave off before you go into
Snow Point.
Snow Point's gym. Otherwise, you're gonna be soft locked. There's been spots where
Yeah.
you can literally soft lock yourself because of the autosave feature. So when they added it, it was a mistake. Like, oh god, there have been situations where if the Pokemon follows you, which the game wasn't meant to do, the freaking Pokemon can wind up messing up your step patterns. So if you're hatching eggs or anything, it fucks you up.
I actually had Empoleon get stuck on get glitched onto a fucking log bridge that was on top of Route I think it was 214.
Yep. And KG and I have seen this multiple times. There's certain trainers where the camera zooms in, then fades to black, then zooms back out, then
Yeah,
the
I've
battle
seen that.
starts. Like, oh, this is a fucking mess. Like, this is a glitchy, buggy mess.
I don't know
But
if it's my
people love it.
TV.
But it's more playable than GTA, so it's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my TV or not, but whenever I go inside a house and then I come back out, my screen, it takes a little bit for it to fade back its colors, like back to normal. It looks like it's like really, really dim. It might
And
be
then
my
it
TV
lightens
doing
back
that.
up, right?
Yeah. Is that the game?
well. Do you have an OLED
Yeah.
TV?
No, I have a brand new one. It's LG.
Yeah, but
something.
there's an OLED TV.
Oh no, OLED, no.
Okay.
So that
I don't know.
So that does sound like something from the game itself. Then at that point,
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
I might have to pay attention to that when we do. The
I actually
PlayStation.
rounded up into a situation one time where Onyx used knockdown on me. Or Smackdown. It was Smackdown. He used Smackdown on me, but the camera didn't show my Pokemon falling like it would in Sword and Shield when you use Smackdown. It just showed the side of Onyx's face. Like, what? This game's fucked.
I
Well,
actually
remember,
fainted.
Tyrone-
The thing is though, Azure actually had that happen, but on emulator, not on the real thing.
Also,
Not on
Tyrone,
the real console.
don't forget, Tyrone, when you evolved.
Oh, yeah, that's right. KG, we didn't even actually interact underground yet, but for some reason, when KG's freaking Weasel evolved in a Floatzel, it took my name for a second.
No, it said your
What?
Weemy is evolving,
And it didn't
then
even take my character's it didn't even take my Nintendo Switch username. It took my character's in-game name, and we haven't even met yet. We haven't traded, we haven't battled with each other, but somehow the game must know we're both playing at the same time, and it took my name on the game and replaced it with Weasel's nickname. And then went back to
What?
Weasel's nickname after it evolved into Floatzel.
Yeah. It says your Tyra TG3
Evolved
evolved
into
into
Floatzel.
Floatzel. And then when I went to look back at it, it then went back to just the Buimi, the Floatzel.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
brain, I'm going, how did it know that we were playing? What is happening?
Probably because you were connected to the same underground. Probably there was some values.
That might
I
be.
assume so.
Yeah, so probably some memory values.
I mean, weird as that is, we've run into so many fuck ups.
Well, they had development issues, that's for sure.
Development issues is an understatement. Holy
Yeah, really.
shit.
Great for the speedrunners.
Yeah, there you go. So when is do we know the soonest you can actually speed run the game? Like how far can you get before you can like glitch the game out?
Oh, you can glitch the game
Dude.
from just the very beginning.
Oh, really?
People have
Man,
already
good luck,
found the
though.
way. I think you could do a sub 4-hour DP run.
Holy crap!
Now,
Like how?
now
Look,
Pokemon's not free from bugs, but I think this is the buggiest Pokemon game to
It
date.
is.
No,
Yeah,
X and Y says hello because X and Y actually corrupts the fucking game.
I didn't run into that many issues with X and Y except slow down and that save thing. And I didn't even run into that save thing. It got patched before I ran into that problem.
I think you're
Yeah,
referring
I'm sure.
to like technical glitches, like the glitches that we see.
Yeah, I'm
with-
talking about visual, this is fucked up moments.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
not
they'll
like
patch a lot of
actual-
this in at some point.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But I was gonna say regarding like how fast you can beat a game. TSS already said this before. The badge checker, dude, doesn't actually check what badges you have, and
Wow.
theoretically, you
What does he say
can
now?
you can go to Sunny Shore, right? You can go to Sunny Shore, buy your second badge. And then you could probably get him. You could probably skip the guy and get the Sunny Shore gym badge as
This
your
is
third badge.
fucked.
You guys want to see me recreate the Blaine scene again? Because I can,
Yeah.
theoretically.
Well, the thing is though, if those glitches exist in the original DP game, then DP games are bad games anyway. So there we go.
They didn't exist in the DP game. I never ran into these
Oh no,
problems in the
they
DP.
existed in the
They existed.
Japanese version.
They exist in the Japanese version.
Oh, well, I didn't play the Japanese version.
No,
so-
but they do exist though. That's the thing. But
Exactly. Glitches always exist.
Oh, of course. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying I didn't run.
Yeah,
into-
but you got to go out of your way for this shit. It's like people,
No, there was some things that just suddenly showed the fuck up. Like I said,
the visual stuff. Yeah, the visual stuff, but it doesn't completely break your fucking game.
Like my thing is, like, to me, KG said it best. This game only excels at one thing to me, and that's online interaction. Basically, I'm able to play Diamond and Pearl and still enjoy having an online conversation with KG and the others, and maybe do some Grand Underground and contest shit. That's its shining highlight right there. I'm pretty sure that much like Let's Go, once I'm done with this, that all. Like, I'm not really gonna touch this one again.
Well, actually, you are because Pokemon Home, but
No, I mean, like, as of, like, for a purpose of playing the game, sometimes I go back and play a game again. Like, I played Black and White God knows how many times. I played Crystal way too many times to physically count. This, I ain't coming back to this one. Not willingly, at least.
that is a good thing. I wish they did, Joker. I agree with you 100%. The underground would have been perfect if they had a union room as well down there too. Because being able to interact with people in the chat and then having them be all together in the underground is super incredible.
Also, it
and
sucks
so
that I
fun.
can't talk to you guys while I'm underground. Like, I'm under here any fucking way. Like, let me talk to y'all.
You wish, buddy. Don't work like that. But you can, and here's the cool thing: you can interact with the same things that you can dig up. So, say if I'm digging something, you can actually dig along with me, and it doesn't cost any of the thing to shake. Like the line before it cracks.
It doesn't cave the wall in faster, basically.
Yes. So,
But it is weird that since we can't talk to each other, all it is two people digging and not saying shit to each other.
yeah, this is mainly like the best way to say it. It's mainly best on streams. This is one of those streams.
Yeah.
Because like another cool thing that the Grand Underground does.
Hey, are you having fun digging? Shh. Ting 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 ting.
I was gonna say the other thing I enjoy as well from the stuff is I love the fact that they did this cool Diglett thing though, where if you collect 40 Diglets, both in wild encounters and in digging, you can get a random chance at shinies.
Whoa.
So when you're in the Grand Underground, you will sometimes encounter Diglets, and they'll go back.
I have
down.
seen one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll notice to the left of you where the map
Doug
is at.
Trio and Doug Trio has 3, by the way, because obviously 3.
Yeah, 3 heads and three points. But I was gonna say, you'll notice in the left of the counter, they'll say 0 out of 40. You can
Mhm.
collect up to 40 of these things total, and for about, I believe, 4 minutes, you'll be given the opportunity to cut your shiny encounters by half. So originally, what was supposed to be 1 out of 4,098 now is halved to 1 out of 2,000, and you can get a higher chance at encountering a shiny for roughly 4 to 5 minutes, I believe it is. And also, that doesn't only apply to just the wild Pokemon, that also applies to, say, digging, because you can also get the opportunity to locate shiny boxes, aka the gorgeous boxes that can give you shiny statues, which I've collected a couple so far. So these things are really kind of cool, and something I think fans should try to continue trying out. You know, one of these sessions, I want to do something where it's like everybody has to make a statues or make their statues inside their base be purely of just this one typing, so that way when we all meet up, we all can find encounters of like dark types or ghost types or ice types or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool to do, like a themed encounter as a group. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that might be kind of cool to see, if it's possible, of course. No clear idea if that actually works in Wi-Fi, but I thought that would be kind of cool. Yeah, monotype bases. That's the thing. That's the perfect way to say it. A monotype base where we can all work together to try to locate particular types of Pokemon. So if one day I feel like I want to find me a dark type, I can ask the community to put up dark type statues throughout their base, and we can work together to make that happen. You know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of things we have in plan for the future. No clear idea as to what we're gonna do for that, but Hilcario only. JPR would love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yep.
yeah, so
Pretty much.
these are just ideas in mind for what we could do in the future. In the meanwhile, though, we hope you guys will look forward to tomorrow with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, both in mine and in Tyrone's channel. I'm going to be heading off to get my third badge, and Tyrone is going to also be in that same route as well. And then maybe at the end of that, like we could probably do a versus session or something to kind of just show us how far we're both at, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see where things go on that aspect. But yeah, in the meantime, chat, we hope you look forward to that. But what else do we got planned for the week? Well, it's Thanksgiving week, so things might be a little bit different this week. Some additional sessions, maybe, or maybe not. Because I think for Thanksgiving Day, I don't know. I don't think anybody's gonna want to be streaming that day because
No,
everybody.
they're gonna be in a turkey coma, turkey squirts, all that stuff.
Yeah, and also it's
Stream with
called work
Thanksgiving.
too.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Streams
So
things.
well, we'll see what happens on that part. But what about the other days? So Tuesday, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl on my channel. Wednesday, Shibigami Tensei 5 will be that day. Thursday, probably nothing. And on Friday, given that there is no reaction night, we're gonna probably do another session of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl on that day. Though clearly, I have no idea on that part just yet. But that's gonna be it for me for this week. What about you, Tarondo? What do you have planned?
Pretty much the same thing because I'll be gone for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But Persona 5 Royal will still be on Sunday. But Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm out because I'll be out of town with family.
Okay. So that's the idea on Tyron's channel. What about you, TSS? You have anything planned for this week?
Yes. So Friday we're gonna be back in for Persona 3 Fest on Dub. We're gonna be facing the boss at the beginning of October. So stay tuned for that, 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And then on Saturday, we are going to go ahead and finish up Yakuza Kiwami at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll just randomly play another game to fill time because I'm literally on the last chapter, chapter 13. So, and then at the end of that stream, I will announce my next Saturday game, which will probably happen the following, either like in 1 or 2 weeks after that. So that's at 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And that's at TSS_killer on
All
Twitch.
right. Of course, our buddy Terrell is also going to be having a stream on Friday as well. So make sure to tune in for that too. And Dane, do you have anything planned to do for this week?
I am actually not this week, but maybe next week. I'm going to start streaming again.
Ooh,
Possibly.
hey.
I know. Yeah, it's been like a year. If you guys haven't already, twitch.tv/day95. I used to stream over there all the time, but work kind of got in the way of that. But things are clearing up again, so
Hey, looking
call me
forward
over
to
there.
that,
We'll
buddy.
see. We'll see. Maybe the next week or so, we'll see what's going on there. I haven't decided quite yet what's going to happen, but yeah.
If you want to join us for BDSP tomorrow, you can as well. In the call.
Yeah, sure.
All right, sweet. There you go, chat. We got some fun things planned out throughout the week. We hope you guys enjoy. And given that we're not going to have another PokePod until the following Monday, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday, Turkey Day. I don't know what kind of thing you guys call it, but point of the matter is, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Be with your loved ones, your family, your friends. Have a good time. Relax when you need to relax. And make sure that most of all, you have yourselves an awesome day. But we're going to call it a day. TSS, would you like to give us the magical words, please?
Wash your fucking hands and happy Thanksgiving.
Indeed. It's all right,
Wash your
everybody.
hands before you eat.
And with that, we're going to call it a wrap. Take care, everybody. And as always, once again, have yourselves an awesome day. I'm going to figure out who I should go and, let's see.
Right.
Yeah, right. I don't know. There's really nobody here that I see from my friend list anyway that's playing anything right now. Probably because it's also 12 o'clock, too. So that might also be
Yeah.
why. You know what? We'll just keep it as is. I think that's fine. All right. So you all have yourselves a good night and take care. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey.
Do-do-do.